Yeah, buddies, it's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I am Ron Bennington.
Mm-hmm.
Get on the loose again.
On the loose again.
Big Tim Tebow news. I don't know whether he's going to make it to the major leagues, but he did save a man by laying hands and praying over his twitching body.
Oh.
Somebody was at the big Tim Tebow baseball game there in, I guess, Arizona is where he's playing. And he starts to have some kind of internal problems. Tim laid his hands on him, used the power of the Lord, and brought him back from the death and restored his sight. Tim Tebow, angel in the outfield.
The angel in the outfield is real?
Yes. This is the second time he's healed somebody with his hands. Twice with his hands and once with a foot. I think he just put his foot on somebody. I think it's just as good. I don't know why the hands would be much better.
I mean, you're coming close. I don't know. There's like a number of miracles that you can perform until you get sainthood.
You got to be a Catholic. That's the first miracle. You can't be a proddy running around there doing tongues. But what was the ailment that this person had, Chris? Do you know?
All I heard was that he just had a seizure.
Well, that seizure would be it. You know, seizure is it.
I don't know what caused the seizure.
Well, it's gone.
That much.
Whatever it is, it's gone. We don't have to worry about it anymore. There's a killer on the loose again.
He just said, "Out, demon!"
And the demon left his body, and he got up. And this person who he healed, I believe, is going to go around doing good work from this point on. Tim Tebow, you got to love him.
Give me the blood, Tebow, and get me out of here.
That would be Tebow and Trump. Would be the fucking perfect thing together. Donald, didn't you want to say something about building the new church? So great. But you got to be crazy about that Tim Tebow. He is the Miracle Met. Oh, I like that. I'm giving that. Get those T-shirts printed up and sell them to all your dumb friends. You know. Congratulations to you, Chris. Your team moved on.
Thank you. Told you nothing to worry about with the Cubs. Or as I call them, my Cubbies.
Please
really
don't.
Annoying. You're a fucking cubby hole. That's your problem. But yeah, they won.
Thrilling, too.
It's another day that the fucking Shylock isn't coming after you looking for money. That's a good day. Now, I like this story, and I had no idea about it, but Rod Stewart is now Sir Roderick. They've knighted him. Something we don't do in this country. And they're very smart in England with the rock stars, is that they knight him long after the party years. You know what I mean? They don't knight him when he had to, because they brought up not only, you know, Small Faces, the Jeff Beck group, his own solo career, but also raising money and getting his a whole soccer team's worth of sperm pumped out of his belly. At least that's what we believed in my neighborhood. And when I was younger, I was like this at people. You take that back! Ah! But we don't have American rock and roll nights, and I wish that we did.
We should have it. Because, I mean, nothing legitimizes more than a knighthood. Now you're like, I mean, at that point, you're like, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Yeah, I'm in it, but I'm a knight.
Aren't you amazed, too, that people will say now to Paul McCartney, Sir Paul, can I ask you a question? I'm like, first of all, he's not a knight in our country. You know, like, if they made him a cop over there, he couldn't walk around arresting people. So he's not a knight here. He's a knight over there.
Right.
But he's not a knight here. Now, you don't give knighthood to dead people, right?
No, it's only the living.
That hurts. I mean, you know,
yeah.
I mean, we're going to start giving knight to rock stars, and we can't give one to Elvis.
There's a lot. We have a lot of dead knights, you know, like people who would have been great potential knights.
Yeah. I would have liked to invite just a concert of the Knights, force them all into white satin. And by the way, no Moody Blue is a white knight. I guess there's a singular to that. I don't know. I'm a Moody Blue. I have been since 1965. All right, very quickly, off the top of your head, who should be an American rock knight or music knight If the whole group doesn't agree, you're out of the game. That's what I'm saying. This has to be group appeal. It's got to be so obvious. 844 Rock God. Perfect for this.
Makes sense.
Rock God. Now remember, it's got to be a living knight. Gail.
Okay, the first that came to mind because of his contribution to two incredibly important American bands, Let Us Knight, Dave Grohl.
Wow, he's a young knight.
He's a young knight,
yeah,
but he's past his party days. Like I don't
know. I still think Dave Grohl could go out there and get fucked up one night. Like if I'm on the night commission, I'm like, I don't know. He still might have a couple wild nights in him.
He was in Nirvana. He's a Foo Fighter.
Look, that is all perfect. There's no problem. I'm gonna say yes to Dave Grohl. Everybody agree?
Yes to Dave Grohl.
Yes.
We saw him smoking downstairs once. Got to get that guy.
That's a stupid thing to
Why would that
throw in.
make
That wouldn't even
knighthood?
make it, and then you'd be off the panel just for saying that. Vito, I guess you want to say Springsteen?
I want to get that one out there real quick.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I'll knight him.
Knight it.
Knighted.
Knight it.
I had another young knight, Mr. Jack White. Sir White? Come on.
First of all, you don't do Sir last name. He'd be Sir Jack.
Sir Jack.
Sir Jack.
I don't know if I'm ready to give him full knighthood. I mean, how many classic albums are we talking? First of all, here's the problem with all you guys. There's so many living people we need to do before you get to Dave Grohl or before you get to a Jack White. I mean, Chuck Berry, we're not going to have him very much longer. And you're going to give something to Jack White before him? Look how much longer it took him to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And by the way, being a knight makes the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame look like shit.
It really does.
And what I like about the knighthood is Bruce goes in. They're not going to let the East Street Band all be knights.
Oh, no.
No, you can't.
Max is not going to be Sir Max.
It's in a round table, man. He's the knight.
I'm not sure if you do. I mean, you probably don't do a whole band of knights. You get one.
You get one knight.
Two tops.
Mick is in, but Keith isn't. And Keith said, I don't want one. Not after what those fuckers did over the years. Which I admire very much.
Very cool.
Him for saying that. So, I mean, the fact that you're giving this out to a Jack White, who's how many great albums in his life?
I'd say 3 great albums. His first solo album is a great album. White Blood Cells and Distilge.
That seems like a small amount to get knighthood. I'm not saying he won't get knighthood, but I think he's got to work at it a while, considering you don't bring up Bob Dylan's name yet. You didn't bring up a Chuck Berry, a Jerry Lee Lewis. I mean, this is fucking insane. Bruce is old, but there's a ton of people I put in before Bruce.
Who would you say is your number one? Chuck would be your number one?
I got Chuck and Dylan are the two, but yeah, I got to go my first thing, and I hope Bob stays along. Chuck Berry has got to be number one on the list.
Do you only get one night like a year? Like, is it?
Yeah, they don't do a lot of nights. But see, the thing is, they do it from different things. So they'll give like a knighthood to an entertainer, like an actor, and then they'll give a knighthood to like a political person or a business person. It's very annoying.
When you put it that way, I'm willing to forego, let's wait on Dave Grohl. We've got a lot of time with him. I have another one that I think I think we want to get Brian Wilson knighted very quickly.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect thing. You got to do Brian Wilson, and the Lord knows how fragile that man is.
He's very fragile.
And he's the only living Wilson brother. Not that the other two would have gotten in. And I love Carl's voice. And Dennis, between the hot chicks and Manson, I don't care that you weren't a great drummer. When they found out like the Wrecking Crew were going to be playing the instruments, Dennis said, cool. Great.
That sounds good.
But I don't lose any money for that, right? Day drum, and I still get the same amount of money. So, Chris, you're out because you can't even come up with anything.
Let me one more chance. Just one more.
I can't do that. I'm going to look back at Vito. Now that he's away from Springsteen, I don't see his knowledge being very deep.
God, no.
What was the band that you loved yesterday? Third
Eye Blind.
Do you want to put one of them in?
I don't think they're ready. I think they still need to blossom.
First of all, their blossoming is done.
I still think
They're
they can
fertilizer.
resurrect.
All right, let me jump over here to Glenn in D.C. Glenn.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I was thinking Leonard Cohen.
Here's the problem with Mr. Leonard Cohen. He is from Canada.
You're right.
You would be off the night committee, sir. But I saw a thing with Leonard Cohen today. He says, I'm ready to die. He says, I did all I got to do. I don't think I'm going to do much more.
What if we're not ready?
Yeah, I feel the same way.
And Canada obviously has to get their knighthood stuff.
I think that
Locked
they
down.
have something like that. It's not a knighthood, but it's some kind of like, and everybody we know has received it.
Every Canadian.
Yeah, Marty Short picked one up. It's just, it's great to have. Here is Jack in Maine. Jack.
Hey, Ronnie, we got to get Chris Christopherson in before he passes on. He's definitely going to be in there.
First of all, Chris Christopherson will never die, and second of all, perfect thing to bring up. Are you going to give it to a Jack White before Chris Christopherson, before a Willie Nelson?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Do we even take yours, Vito?
My next one, or did we?
Yeah.
My next one, I was going to say throw Steven Tyler in there.
See, again,
Too young, you think?
I just think so many people go in before Steven Tyler, and Steven Tyler would say the same thing. Steven Tyler would go, why are you picking me? You know what I mean? First of all, I might do it just to piss off Joe Perry. And I would say, to the most important person in Aerosmith, and be just glaring at Joe. Here is Chris down there in New Orleans. Chris.
Hey, Ronnie B.
Yeah.
How about Sir Quincy?
Quincy Jones, perfect answer. Quincy Jones, the dude, should be a knight.
And I like the sound of Sir Quincy. It's got a good ring
or
to
just
it.
Sir Q. And then he would be up there for 4 hours just accepting, telling Frank Sinatra stories, Michael Jackson stories. He's great. Steve.
Maha Bone, Ronnie.
Maha.
All right, for a man that not only is skilled with an axe, but also guns, knives, and a quill, Ted Nugent.
Well, I don't think we're going to do opening acts for quite a while. I think you've got to be able to carry the show. No offense to Sweaty Teddy.
Of course not. Now, do we have the power to, I don't know what the process would be called, but when you dame someone?
Well, I think, yeah. Well, do you get made a dame or a lady over there? I never understand that.
Well, I know that maybe it's called lady.
Yeah.
But their title is like Dame Judi Dench has the lady form of
all right, well,
knighthood.
I didn't even, this is my fucking Trumpness. I'm not even thinking
Right.
that way. Yeah, let's grab one of them by the pussy and make her a dame. Grab this dame by the pussy.
Okay, so
What you got?
the dame I'd like to grab by the pussy is Dame Aretha.
No problem with me there.
That's fine.
Just want to get the damehood going. I don't know what to call it. I don't know the.
What do you got?
Dame Loretta Lynn.
Absolutely fantastic. Wonderful.
Much better than your Jack White.
Yeah, she worked with Jack. So.
It's the only reason that you know.
You fucking did
It's the only reason why you know who she is. I saw there was like a thing on Loretta Lynn, like on American Masters. It's just fucking unbelievable. I mean, it's just great. And, the reason that she wrote all those songs about beating up fucking women is because her dude was just, while she's on stage, he was just going out and picking up people.
Yep.
He's just, but then her son, who handles her career, went out of her way to say her least successful album was the one with Jack White. He is no Jack White fan.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Come on.
You got to watch this thing.
I have to now. I want to see all the smack talk.
It's on PBS. I don't know if you can get that on your phone.
See if I can stream that.
Steve in Alabama. Steve.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, we got a night. Stevie Wonder. Of course
easily.
we do. Come on. That goes without saying. What about Johnny the other day? They claimed that he was partying with Sam Cooke.
How?
Racism.
It's all the
Who
same.
did it end up being?
Sam from Sam and Dave.
Okay.
He doesn't even know Sam's last name.
Awful.
Yeah. That's the problem, though. There are so many great people we can't knight because they died before America got their own knighthood.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. But we're all agreed Dylan is a
Yes.
knight.
Yeah.
And a knight we'll never forget.
He might have to be number one. Like, he might be our first knight.
First ballot night.
Is there any other 50s guys or gals, Gail, or gals,
Thank you.
besides the killer, Jerry Lee Lewis, who we might not be able to let in because of the two different murders he's been involved
Right.
in? And, of course, Chuck, who liked to shat upon women or watch them shitting. I mean, all the 50s guys were nuts.
I didn't know that was a thing for him.
He had
Scatman.
like a restaurant with just, I mean, even before there was a GoPro camera, he had just a giant, one of those old CBS TV cameras aimed up into the turlet.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
And it was basically, here, come shit on this camera.
Oh, no.
Smile. You're on shitty camera. And pisses, too. Vito, you're driving me nuts. He's leaning for it with his finger up. Like he is the best dancer in the world. What is it?
Little Richard.
I would give it to Little Richard.
Yeah.
People forget that he's alive. We haven't seen him in so long.
Now I understand the confidence.
Yeah. Little Richard belongs there. Here is Bart. Bart, what's up?
Hey, just celebrated a birthday this week. New album, Sir Bobby Knight Weir.
You know, we all love Bobby Weir, but who was the knight in that band? Right? It's Jerry.
But we can't knight him. He's passed.
Yeah,
so we
I
gotta
can't go around and give it to a guy because Jerry's gone. I mean, if you're going to be a knight, everybody's got to be looking at you when you're on stage.
And he's not going to want a pity knighthood.
God,
That's
it
not
would
going
be just a pity knighthood.
He wouldn't feel good about that.
No. But if you, I don't know why we don't do anything like this. I mean, look, everyone loves Simon and Garfunkel. Only one of them's getting a knighthood. Sorry. No disrespect.
Yeah.
But we're not handing out two knighthoods to one fucking duel. There's so few to go around. And really now we've turned this around where Bruce would be the youngest one.
Yeah.
That is on our list thus far. Chris wanted to give one to fucking buddy of his down the street that he owes money to. And
That's a guitar.
You know what's really sad, because this person has passed away. Knight Prince, although a confusing title.
Sir Prince. See, that's why we got to take this fucking serious. Because people can die young. Billy Joel said only the good die young. I think he's fucking crazy. I mean, some bad people die really young. Who else did you want, Chris? Disco Dan, who hasn't stopped in here since he got in trouble with his Laugh USA deal.
He's been scarce around this place. He's just
I
hiding
miss
up
him.
on 37.
I miss him. I miss the joy.
I can't get over the fact how many people are sending us dead people or English people and Canadians. No, Elvis Costello can get a knighthood there. We're not giving him one. No, Neil Young is not born in this country. Stop it. Ray Charles is dead. Very dead.
There's rules to this game.
Okay. Larry in Yonkers is giving out the dame to our favorite dame, Ronnie Spector.
Agreed.
Very much agreed. Let's go to Adam in Iowa. Adam.
Hey guys, how we doing?
Good.
Gotta go with Tom Petty.
God, I love Tom Petty. He's definitely going to get a knighthood. He's a little bit younger than Bruce. No, forget it. I'm giving it to him. Sir Tom. Sir Tom Petty. Anybody else have a problem with that?
I think we should wait a little while.
I don't have time.
You're worried?
I still want him to do a good set when he comes up there.
Oh, you get to play right after?
Yeah, I don't want to be there for that Little Richard set. Tutti frutti, frutti. Ba-ba-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-da. I haven't seen Little Richard in 20, 25 years.
What has he been up to?
Probably being old. It's not like he's out doing shit.
He's a hermit.
He's not a hermit. He's a person.
That's what he said.
I think he just lived in the woods somewhere.
Do you not want to do this, Chris?
No, I do.
We're going to mock the Knights?
I'm not going to mock the Knights. I'm just saying.
I'm called the man a hermit.
Trying to figure out what he's doing.
But we got to be careful about this because someone just wrote in to us that Daryl Hall is 70. And yet Daryl Hall would be way on the young side of this knighthood. I mean, he just got in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last year or something. Oh, my God. They're writing Rufus Wayne right now.
Oh, my God.
Canadian.
Young and Canadian.
Eric in Virginia. We're giving out Rock Nights.
Yeah, we got to have some T-Funk. George Clinton, I think, has got to be a Sir George.
Thank God.
Okay, that's a good one.
George Clinton. Now, I worry about what that's going to be like that night. Chris, what's up?
Sir Diamond, David Lee Roth.
Come on, dude. Eddie Van Halen. The band is named after someone else. That band isn't called Roth.
I mean, you know that I love Ponytail Dave, but that's ridiculous. He's not getting knighthood.
We might as well give one to Quick Draw McGraw at this point. Do you see what I'm saying, Chris?
I know. I realize. That's why Jack White was a crazy thing to say earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love the man so much,
But I mean, you get to the point where you're difficult to talk to because you have no other topic.
All right, I got someone else.
Please don't.
One more.
Don't. Go ahead.
I had Leroy Lynn before. Smokey Robinson.
Yes. Smokey's already in.
Oh shit.
Smokey went in before this thing even started.
Yeah.
Andrew, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Just thinking, you talked about him, but you didn't mention him in the knighthood. Billy Joel. Yeah. What's wrong with him?
And there's nothing wrong with. I mean, most people aren't going to be knights. It's not going to happen. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you.
I think there's going to be a lot of people who want him to be knighted.
Yes,
I know
all
that
of them live in Long Island. You know what? Started the knighthood of the fucking North Shore of Long Island.
Nobody's
and
stopping
put him
you.
up first.
Build a castle and bring the knights in there.
Here is Mike in Syracuse. Mike.
Ron AB. I got two of them for you. Can I give you two?
Let's give you one. If it works, we'll give the next one.
All right. Greg Almond, number one.
I could knight Greg Almond. All right.
How about the night tripper, Dr. John, number two?
I love Dr. John if there was a hypnus thing, but I'm sorry, I can't. I can't do it. I want to, but we have to keep this as a special thing. I don't want this to become the fucking football Hall of Fame where every quarterback gets in.
Another Ring of Honor ceremony.
Norm Snead just went in to the fucking Pro Football Hall of Fame. And the reason? Yeah. He played quarterback. That's all people needed to hear.
Is there a special salute that knights get? Like, is there a way to honor a knight?
It's the same salute as the Three Amigos. No,
or maybe it's just that thing where you get down on one knee and you stick your sword in the dirt.
You're thinking of Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick's starting this week against
the Bills.
Are they playing in Buffalo or San Francisco?
In Buffalo.
All right, here's my prediction today. Every time he goes up to fucking snap the ball, they play the national anthem, and he's forced to take a knee. And that's the end of the play.
It's going to kill a lot of clock.
That's what they do to him. Is he going? What is he going to do with his hair? He can't stuff a helmet over that.
The fucking afro's out of control, man.
That's racist.
That is racist,
Why
and
is-
I can't
I'm
believe you
saying
just said that.
His afro is large, is all I'm saying.
That's a
Because you don't
stereotype.
call your hair a Eurofro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It doesn't have to be named after that.
All right. His hair is very long. Is that better?
It's not really accurate, though.
Long though. Why?
I guess he'll get cornrows for the game.
Oh, you
my
fucking
God.
racist.
He needs to wear the helmet.
I have just decided to take Loretta Lynn out of
Come on.
our
I
girl
think that's
knighthood.
fair. It's the only punishment that will get to him.
Sure, for my mistakes. And racism?
You know what? We're all doing blue on blue today, and so is Obama.
Oh,
Nice.
Everybody but Vito.
Ew.
Vito, why aren't you wearing your dress blues like us?
You knew it was a blue day.
I didn't know.
Yeah, you did. I told him that
You
No.
did.
earlier in the week.
No, I know.
I told him.
I know that
I
you don't
told him.
communicate with that poor boy.
Wednesday, blue day.
Matt, what's up?
What's going on, Ronnie B?
Yeah.
I'd like to nominate Levon Helm.
Oh, do you want to call him and ask him if he's willing to come to this? Because he's passed away, sir. He's gone. I'm not giving a knighthood to his wife. Oh, too bad Levon's not here to get this. Would have I put him in right off the bat? 100%. But he's gone.
And
You
he-
waited.
And he's the only one from the band who could have got a knighthood, correct? The rest of them are Canadian?
Canadian and dead. Yeah, I believe every other member
Yeah.
is Canadian. You know, Robbie Robertson's book is coming out, and I'm fucking. There's an excerpt in Vanity Fair,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm fucking thrilled. So excited. I already read the excerpt about the last waltz. I knew every fucking thing he had to say, but I'm still like, this is great. Oh, Bill Graham was mad. You guys were really tired at the end of the night, huh? 4 hours plus? They do a fucking show that, you know, Bruce brags about now. They were just doing it off the top of their head 40 some years ago. Actually, 40 years ago this year, I think. I think they did that in 1976.
Really?
Yeah, I think the movie came out in like a 77 or a 78, but I'm fairly sure that it was a 1976 show. And like us, with our Thanksgiving show, they served turkey to everybody in the crowd. They served a dinner and they put out tables for 5,000 people. Bill Graham did.
That's insane.
And then he said, I never even got fucking thanked in the movie. He was still pissed. He goes, not so much for me, but all those people who did that work deserve to thank you. And I'm like, he's right.
That's how you give thanks.
Hard to thank people when you're all coked up, though, isn't it? Joe in Maine.
Ronnie, we got a night Chris Stanley's favorite, Mr. Jimmy Buffett.
Never.
Go Parrot Head.
It's not. Getting...
Someone does have to represent the Key West sound.
Who else could?
We should do the next GPS Key West and just play 14 fucking Buffett songs.
Now that just made me think of Key West night. Why don't we always dress up and have the food of the time every time we cut GPS?
Oh, God. What are we waiting for? That's insane.
We all dress up in costume.
The last one, Chris, I thought he came in dressed as Mama Cass, and I'm like, she was already gone by this time. But you just wear muumuus on the weekends.
It's comfortable for me. You know, let everything breathe.
I got a lot of nice emails about the last one too. I forwarded some to you, but a lot of people love that LA 1970s sound.
Yeah, we got a lot of great feedback about that one. It's just such excellent songwriting. It was a really good track list we got together.
Yeah, we've got 2 up in the air right now. I don't know what we're going to do next. Not sure.
But let's know ahead of time so we can all dress of the time period.
Yeah.
And have themed snacks.
I just think that me and Vito and Chris are going to make the worst looking glam rockers of all time. so I can't do that.
You guys are going to need a clean shave for that because it is a strange look. Eyeliner and beard is always a strange look.
Yeah, that's horrific. That was the Night Tripper, by the way. Mac Rebenak. Let's welcome to Dr. Mac Rebenak, Dr. John. I'm looking forward to our Thanksgiving show this year.
Me too. This is going to be I had so much fun last year, and I cannot wait for this one.
Chris asked if we could do burgers.
What, Chris?
Just as a side.
That's
Like
not traditional.
Like just, nice plate of burgers.
There's a thing up on the iBank today that said, I think it's 1 out of every 4 or 1 out of every 5 millennials has never eaten a Big Mac. No Big Mac.
That weirds me out.
You eat a Big Mac?
I mean, I've eaten a Big Mac. I've eaten plenty of Big Macs. Not in about a year, but I've eaten a Big Mac.
I'm way longer than a year. I mean, I'm like decades. There's so many other choices now.
To be honest, I have never ordered a Big Mac. Never.
What do you order when you go to McDonald's?
Just like cheeseburger, straight up.
You don't like the look of a Big Mac?
Actually, when I look at a Big Mac, my main problem is whatever that center bread is. That just seems like too much.
First of all, center bread is a perfect name for it. Better than what I've always called it, the secondary bread or middle slice.
I call it the bread disc.
That doesn't make sense. Vito, have you eaten a Big Mac?
No, I get a quarter pounder or double quarter pounder whenever I go.
Why won't you fucking try a Big Mac?
Come on, it's the Big Mac.
I'm not into I just want cheese and a burger when I go to McDonald's. I don't want their weird sauce.
You don't want the special. That's what it is, right? This is the one with the special sauce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But while you're doing that, Chris, while you're acting like a maniac, I normally just order a plain cheeseburger. I couldn't eat a plain burger. I'd throw it as a fucking thing. But I don't want to load it up with salads either.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy to me.
Pickles at most.
You don't like a little onion?
I don't like their onions.
I like their onions.
Doesn't the standard cheeseburger, though, come with, like, onion?
Yeah, you throw all that shit off.
Well, if you're getting a Big Mac, it's 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. That used to be their commercial,
right?
And then all the kids at school would say it as fast as they could. But since I'd say the late 80s, early 90s, McDonald's hasn't been a place for white people. I mean, McDonald's could change their name tomorrow to FUBU, and nobody would be upset about it.
Yeah, that was, I mean, they had that marketing. What was that, like the late 90s when they kind of...
McDonald's?
Yeah.
It was the late 90s.
That and just like youngsters. Yeah, and I'm loving it with the lowercase, so it looked like a text message or an IM.
At one point, let's say probably in the smiley 80s, McDonald's was known as the drop-off place for weekend dad. The two separated parents would meet at McDonald's, have food together, and then whatever parent would take the kids home to kind of make it like a nice thing for the kids.
Fun. We're going to McDonald's. You're going to go in the place.
And then you're going to leave with just one of your parents. So somebody had actually written that up, and then there was a movie done. It was considered a phenomenon. But now, if a mother took her children in there, people are like, what's this wrong with? Does she hate them?
Oh.
How fat is she trying to make those kids? But we have a million other choices now. You know, a million. Particularly when you get to the mid-level cheeseburger places. The Five Guys, and, you go on and on with every In-N-Out burger type name that you want. They're every 30 feet in the United States of America. You can get a cheeseburger in any direction in America. And they're not considered like fast food, but they're still fast food, All
right, so me and Vito both said that we don't get a Big Mac. What do you think the reasoning is for Big Mac versus any other cheeseburger that young people would not?
It's a specialty burger. You would get I don't think that you guys understand that a Big Mac felt like you're moving up in the world. You're not getting a kid's meal. You're getting a Big Mac. You're getting a Whopper at Burger King. You're getting a Big Mac You want to get the biggest thing you can get.
It's the best burger. At least that's how it seems in ordering it or whatever.
But also, what I'm trying to say, it's the grown-up burger.
Right.
It's not the baby single fucking burger that you go for.
I think the Quarter Pounder came in and messed up everything for the Big Mac.
I don't see no difference between a fucking Quarter Pounder and the other one. They both border the shit out of
What's the deal with a Quarter Pounder? That's just thicker meat? Is that the deal?
Thicker meat, no bread in the middle, and no sauce. It's just a cheeseburger.
There might be some truth to what you're saying, but I do think it's a generational thing of you wanted to grow up at one point in this country. Now you want to stay as young as you can for as long as you can. And that's why adult men will fucking sleep out to go see a cartoon movie. And then what do? Go get a fucking tiny kid's meal for himself because the toy might be in it.
Maybe that's where McDonald's should go. They should appeal to that type of grown-up now and have some sort of answer to the Happy Meal, but for adults with a Big Mac.
Their problem is...
It's got some sort of, like, I don't know, action figure from whatever, like...
But their real problem isn't even the things that we're talking about. Their problem is Sonic, Fat Burger, Shake Shack, Five Guys, Wendy's, In-N-Out, Whataburger, Zen Burger. Every time I turn around, there's some new burger fucking franchise. Just acting like, this burger franchise is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, how could they all be?
I'll tell you, if I was in the mood for a fast food burger right now, I would immediately go to Five Guys, would not even consider going to McDonald's.
And yet, when's the last time you went to Five Guys?
It's been a while.
I'm the same way. When we lived in D.C., we used to drive all the way over to go to the original Five Guys. Since they're a chain, there's one down the fucking street from here. We don't even think about it.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been at least a year, I think, since I've been to a Five Guys. At least.
And Chris always wants a steak burger.
Yeah.
That's his thing.
I love a steak burger. It's delicious.
You don't even remember your own fucking gimmick. That was the big fallout that you had with Fez.
Well, it's not exactly, yeah. It's burger, not steak.
He's so quick to agree with me that he doesn't even realize when I'm teasing him. I can't look at a poll a day. Every day I look up, there's a poll. Another poll. It's constant. Let's just fucking wait. What are we at? 30 days in the other polls?
Yeah.
Let's wait for 30 days and then just fucking find out who won. You know, just like when it's Christmas. Don't get too fired up. Christmas is coming.
Either that or push the date up. If you can't wait, if you're just constantly out there polling,
they're voting today. They're voting today in Ohio.
That begins today.
And I believe Florida and 12 other states. They can't wait. They're so excited. And people were sleeping out to be the first people to vote. There were black people in Cleveland like, I can't wait to vote against Trump. I'm trying to make up for the white people who are afraid to come into Cleveland. City folk versus country folk. And the suburbs have to choose who they want to be with.
We've drawn a line.
I'll tell you this. I panic at the thought that Trump won't get in because we've gotten so much material. I mean, we've gotten too much material from him. Is it just going to go away?
If he is not elected, will he continue being in the public eye to this capacity, and for what reason?
The answer is yes and no. And here's who you got to look at. Sarah Palin. I mean, people forget that this is the Sarah Palin bit. And then she went out and sold books and met with people and made some speeches. And almost every day it got weaker and weaker. Until this election, she was like zero help to Trump. Mm-mm. He brought her down a couple times and he just said, look, fuck it.
Doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. Your celebrity is gone. It's like seeing Adam West at the mall. You know, it was great in fucking 66, 67. It was like less great. By the time it got to 74, people were like, this is embarrassing, this fucking guy.
Whatever happened to the bad Tootsie?
I'll tell you what happened to it.
What?
8 more Batmen. That's the problem. Christian Bale. Hey, everybody. I talk like Bane, too.
There's only one Bane.
Why don't you do what was your thing going to be? Your new one? It was going to be Spain something?
Vice President Tim Bain.
It'll be great. I hope he gets elected, but I hope he gets elected with Trump. I hope
we should be able to pick that.
Yeah, we should. We really should. Some places do that with their governors. Well, you'll have like a Republican governor and then a Democratic lieutenant governor who just sits next to him shaking his head now. I don't fucking believe this shit.
I don't care for this.
That's stupid talk. You're killing babies right now is what you're doing, dude. You're killing babies. I don't know who is putting this out, one of the sites, but it is going to be, they said 30 days of protest songs.
Yeah, so it's going to be 30 songs, one released each day, and it's a bunch of different artists, all Trump related.
All anti-Trump.
All anti-Trump
I
related
think I remember
songs.
who's behind this. I think Dave Edgars is behind it.
So I think there's already been 2. The first 2 have been released. And I believe the first one was Death Cab for Cutie, put out the very first Trump for the 30 for 30.
All right. Oh, I like the idea of a 30 for 30. So this is musicians who have banded together for a Trump-free America. And every day, Chris, let's go looking for who we got. So we got 2 to start us off?
I think the first 2 are up.
So let's hear Death Cab for Cutie and see whether we'd even be into it.
All right, this is $1 Million Loan.
First of all, I like any song that you can sing the hook the second time hearing it, and our whole room did. Give it a smash or trash, Gail.
I'm going smash. Ben Gibbard's voice is one of my favorites.
It's fantastic voice.
It's so sweet and simple and perfect. Catchy tune. Smash.
Vito.
I'm gonna go. I mean, it's against Trump. That's my boy, but I really like Death Cab. So I'm gonna go.
Well, here's the thing. We just have to judge it as a protest song, right?
Yeah.
That's the main thing. You don't have to take it too personal. I mean, I can see Eric Trump singing along with that song.
it's
Tapping
a
and toes.
smash.
Chris Stanley.
Smash.
Now, here's my problems with it. It's a little too laid back to be a protest song. It sounds like someone's breaking up with you in an indie movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's kind of his sound.
Right. I get it. But I think that you got to come in and be a little more biting. The subtlety of this is like, I think Melania could hear this in the mall and not realize that it's about her man.
$1 million. That sounds familiar, though.
Trump is on the phone. All right, so 3 of you guys said smash. I gave it a trash just based on the fact I think you got to be a little more cutting. You know, I don't mean that you got to rock hard.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
something
like I think there's a lot of good slow protest songs.
Yes, there are. But I don't think it should make you think of ex-girlfriends. I don't think that works.
I'll accept your trash, but text me later tonight and tell me at any point during the day, did you go $1 million loan?
I will be, and I'm actually going to go back and listen to some old Death Cab as well. But that doesn't mean that it's effective as a protest song. It's my only beef with it. All right, who do we got next?
This is Amy Mann.
Okay.
The song's Can't You Tell?
All right, here's what I like about it right off the bat. It's very, very Woody Guthrie. You know what I mean? That's like a real kind of a folk song.
It's a folk protest song.
Yeah.
Familiar kind of feel about it.
So that's, there's a more traditional thing to it. So, Gail, smash or trash?
Easily a smash.
Vito?
It's a trash for me.
Smash.
Smash, too. That's locked down.
I got goosebumps for that one. And I like that this version of Trump is like Trump shaking in his boot, like secretly feeling insecurities and secretly feeling overwhelmed by what he's created.
So that's it. Just 2 so far, huh?
Or you're actually up to 3. There's Bye Byman did a song as well.
Bye Byman.
Bye Byman.
Bye,
man. So there's 3.
There's 3.
Give us his background. Then.
He's a singer-songwriter from St. Louis.
That's it?
That's all they have for him.
Okay. All right. Let's see. There's 2 smashes so far, all at 3-1. Vito, you didn't give your reason why you didn't like the better song.
For me, it was that it just kind of, the narrative of the song confused me. Like in the beginning, I thought it was not in the first person, and then it switched to the first person, and then it wasn't. So I got confused. It was more about my own issues.
Yeah, I guess you did. But you thought other people were going to be confused instead of singing along immediately?
I was confused.
Let's go. Let's hear. This is what?
With Love from Russia,
Well, I
but
kind of think they could end up getting a lawsuit against them. All right, so that's With Love from Russia, and who's the act again?
by Byman.
Gail, smash your trash.
I hate to just be all smashy, but this was a smash. First of all, we all laughed.
No, can you come in?
We thought
will you come in?
that was really funny, and this isn't so much a sing-along protest song, but this is like gets everyone
Bounce.
dancing, put your
bounce.
hands in the air. I felt it.
All right, what do you think, Vito?
That's a smash. You can play that on a loudspeaker and just blast that at a rally.
Chris?
I'm going to say I like the song, but trash because I think it's more of an anti-Putin song than an anti-Trump song. People will be confused.
Again, don't think because you're confused or Vito's confused.
A lot of this is based on your own general confusion.
I think
boys.
it confuses everyone. It's another 3-in-1 because I'm giving this one a smash based on "Don't Will You Come In." Don't Will You Come In. Just the fact that there's some weird radio that they're talking back and forth. All right, so I was very dubious about this. 30 days, 30 songs. We've given 3 smashes. So, I mean, in American Idol, you would say you're going to Hollywood.
Yeah.
If you only get, one against.
And I'm the one who's turning my chair around for every song, so this is embarrassing.
I don't care what anyone else is doing. I'm keeping my chair facing the artist. By the way, there's nothing funnier on that show when nobody turns their chair around in the last 5 seconds. You see the person panicking and just really trying to scream out the last lyric. Come on, motherfucker! Do it! Donald, where you come in?
Now, if that song, we had been doing that show for it, just during Donald, do you come in? You would have seen all of our chairs just go.
Everybody but Chris, who would have taken one of his shoes off and thrown it down the hall in confusion.
I'm confused.
I'm confused. It's the Bennington show. Hey, we're doing a lot of rock stuff today, mainly setting everybody up that on Friday, we're going to give out some prizes if you can come up with the best rock anthem for Big J to sing when he does the goddamn comedy jam. What time are you bringing Jay in?
1 p.m.
A little later on in the show that day, let's try to book the guy on the phone from L.A., the goddamn comedy jam, so we can tell him the good news of what song we've picked for Jay. Maybe have him somewhere around 2-ish.
Got it.
What was with the sexy got it?
Got it, Ron.
You guys are flirtatious with one another.
One of us is flirtatious. I don't think we both are.
It just kind of seems like once one of you starts.
Hey, Greg, what's up, buddy?
Hello?
Greg, where you coming? Greg, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What do you got, buddy? You're on the air.
You were talking about musicians that should be knighted.
Sure.
Michael McDonald, definitely.
I think we got to be able to understand the lyrics. Michael McDonald, one of the great white soul voices of all time. My problem is, can we do white soul before we do soul?
We need brown-eyed soul first.
Yes.
Before blue-eyed soul.
And mainly brown skin soul before we do any white skin soul. That's what they should call it. Hey, he's doing Caucasian soul. The weird thing is I'm a giant fan of Caucasian soul.
Are you?
I feel like you've earned it more than the black people. That's just my own personal thing. I feel like you have to go. It's just like if I see a fucking white kid running the 100 meters, I'm like, oh, unbelievable. That kid came in 4th. He's great. He may be the best I've ever seen. Don't know where you're coming. Love it or shove it said fucking smash from the first note on that one.
It's by Byman for you.
Yeah. I doesn't fuck around. It's got that St. Louis sound that people love.
Are you definitely pronouncing that correctly?
No, I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm butchering it. But it sounds about right. B. Beeman sounds even stranger than by Byman.
So we don't know who's doing the next 27 songs.
No, we don't.
That's exciting.
I can't wait. Because I love
we've
the
had-
series.
Yeah, but now this gets me thinking, like, who's going to be there? You know, I mean, I know Mike Love won't be making a song, but who else will be there?
I'm thinking you're going to need either like a Kathleen Hanna or a Peaches to do a Grab My Pussy song.
Oh, good call.
You know, you're going to need a
call.
strong female voice with a good feminist protest.
Still, I could even see Boy George doing it. He grabbed my pussy. I think the North Carolina governor said something about Kim Kardashian's stepdad, Caitlyn Jenner, saying that she better take a shit in the men's room. But it actually called him she. What was his quote exactly?
That's like
Caitlyn Jenner is going to be using the men's shower, is what he said.
He is not giving Caitlyn. And the thing is, Caitlyn is a bona fide Republican, loving the Republicans. And they never are nice back to her.
Yeah, they don't want her.
Caitlyn, will you come in? Caitlyn, will you come in? How about how fucking Vito's like, this could be on a megaphone. Okay, Vito.
he stands by it.
Yeah, he loves
you
it.
said it and you
He
nodded.
loves megaphone rock. Your newest show is up on the iBank today. Big Brother and the Holding Company. Your listener is so excited, so I can't believe. There's your prison picks together.
We're over the iBank. Go download us, subscribe, give us 5 stars. If you subscribe, you get the episodes right away. You don't got to wait no one day. So it's a really exciting time to be a fan of Big Brother and the Holding Company.
Yeah, that Big Brother. Yeah,
That
exactly.
convinced me. I'm
Now,
subscribing.
let me talk to the holding company for a second.
Yes.
Chris, you are the holding company.
His name's Power of Veto. It's weird.
You still enjoying the season?
I love this. Is an amazing season of Big Brother.
I feel like when I listen to your show, I'm hearing a sports report on a sport I've never heard of before. So none of it makes sense to me. It's like an imaginary league.
It actually convinced me to start checking out the feeds because I think this cast, so immediately when you guys were describing them, I was like, well, they sound way more interesting than the previous cast.
They're so much better.
It's this cast is one of my favorites in the past few years.
Did they feel like they couldn't put these people on TV, though? Do you think that's why?
Not all of them. They're not as model attractive as the long run. There are a lot of average looking people, and I think it was riskier because half of them are actual fans of the show, and lately they don't like doing that.
I think it's a giant mistake to not let the average looking people on, because a lot of the people who just lay around are the pretty ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That girl that was fucking dating the douche boat last year, she didn't do anything.
Yeah,
because she was a hot
nothing.
black chick.
She just hung out in the hammock. Zakiya. She was the worst.
Thank you. Put that in your next show.
I am. Zakiya.
Can I guest on there one day and I'll act like I don't know anything and be honest about it?
Sure, 100%. Yes.
I'll just come in and try to ruin the show for you. You're like, this blows.
No, but you got to watch Scott. He's just in the backyard for 24 hours.
Yeah, they brought back punishments in the last POV. That was pretty exciting.
All right, I'm looking up some of your reviews.
Okay.
Here's 5 stars.
Love it.
A cornball and a meathead. It's up to you to figure out who is who. Here's the next one.
Okay.
5 stars.
Yes.
I love these cucks. They are my fam.
Love you too, dude.
What's up, my cock?
Here's one that just said, another podcast. Lots of Stan Man to go around. When it comes to Stanley, it's about quality. It's not about quality. It's about quantity. 3 stars.
3 stars. Come on, man. And it's both.
It seems like you're doing too many podcasts. Why don't you quit High Society?
I think that's a good idea.
When
So
are
you
we
can
going
focus on
to?
this
I want to
show.
book the High Society boys on here because a lot of people sent me a weird fucking dream that Bronx Johnny had that he put up that was about us.
Okay.
And I took that as a thing if he wants to do our show.
I'll talk to Johnny.
Here's the next one. Pepper Licks, Chris Stanley, the questionable in the black and white photo, talks about his, quote, girlfriend, unquote, perform bits that don't have payoffs, like ids, kids, and no parents. And Vito was the other guy. 5 stars.
I'll take the 5 stars.
Oh, it turned out nice though in the end with the 5 stars.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
I don't like the Pecker Licks as your name. There goes our intern's take it off.
There he goes.
He seems to be the hot intern now, right?
He's got the hot hand right now.
Okay.
He's a transfer.
This says the most important series of audio in modern history. 5 stars.
That's what I can ask for. We're telling you all about Big Brother Over the Top.
Bless you.
Thank you.
That's another 5-star you got. If you don't love this podcast, then you don't know what love is. These two brothers, Chin, or should I say Chins, have the best podcast going today. 5 stars.
We're so nice.
So, well, with the stars, they're nice, except for that one guy.
Here's one that said, one of these guys went to D.C. and said, look at all that fuck. The other one is afraid of Bin Laden. 4 stars.
4 stars! Come on, if you're going to take the time to write the comment, throw me 5 stars.
Here's one that just says, great show, 5 stars.
All right. Yeah.
See, those are the people who don't know you guys. They're just listening to a show
And
about
could you
their
imagine
show.
their confusion while reading the other reviews?
No, I would love to find those people.
One of the first reviews, I think, calls Chris a pedophile. So if you don't know who we are, you're going to see one of these guys as a pedophile.
All right, this one said, here's one that says, take the points with these guys, and you'll be laughing all the way to the diary room. 5 stars.
Oh, nice.
That's great. I like that
That's
topic
a good
of
one.
Pepper and Vito are out scream each other. 5 stars.
No screaming.
Piss Stanley and Vito Fuck are rising stars of the podcast genre. A must listen? Yes, but do what you want. 5 stars.
I like that one because it's not too pushy.
All right, hold on.
Oh, can't wait.
It's like Paul Prudhomme and Dom DeLuise review indie pop. Strained breasts fail to make a point on a terrible song.
We made plenty of good points.
All right,
Wait, don't let him finish.
Yes.
Strange.
Strained breaths fail to make a point on a terrible subject. 5 stars.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
We're full of breath.
It's not a terrible subject either.
Oh,
Oh, God.
I'm liking those 5-star reviews, though.
you got a lot of 5 stars, dudes.
Yeah, you got to
Very,
go to...
very fucking proud of you.
Was it Paul
Down-
Prudhomme and Dom DeLuise?
It's mean.
All right, here's
Which
one.
one's which?
All right, let's really keep our applause down until the end.
All right.
If you love clowns and child porn, then this podcast is for you. Chrissy, Pepper Hicks, Peppy Hamburger, Centaur Stanley gives his unbridled takes on clowns and child porn. Nobody else has a podcast where they review their own child porn. But Chris explains it all. All the sexy and hot scenes. 5 stars. 5 stars.
That's true.
Oh,
You got another 5. That's another 5-star broadcast.
Oh, my God.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit! I'd rather read those than fucking ever listen to that shit that you guys do.
No, because you want to listen to Big Brother and the Holding Company. Subscribe on iTunes. 5 stars.
Go to the iBang.
Thank you, Vito, for not burying the lead like the child porn guy.
Those are just.
You're being fucking watched, dude.
I shouldn't be. I don't do anything wrong.
No, it's out there.
That sounded terrible.
It's in print.
So does that mean we come up when people search child porn on iTunes now? Do we
Stop it, Vito. Let me put that out there.
Also, that's a really weird way to try to get child porn.
Stop it. Let's just stop it.
And why would I review my own?
Please, I can't go back here.
Here's where you finally relent it. Right there. That's fucking terrible. Well, congratulations on this podcast. You're getting a lot of notice.
Thank you. Big Brother and the Holding Company. Go to theinterrobang.com to download it.
Oh, fuck.
2 episodes a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. No child porn, despite what you
All right.
Stop
Chris.
fucking bringing it up. Now you're starting to sound like an alarmist.
Oh, never that.
Oh, fuck. That was fucking some funny shit.
My stomach hurts.
I know. This fucking people are just relentless. Why don't we take a break here? A little later on in the show, we got somebody stopping by, right, Chris?
Ari Shaffir is stopping by.
All right, the celebrities are out. Mr. Ari Shaffir, his big show.
The new season of This Is Not Happening premieres tomorrow night at midnight on Comedy Central.
I'll be watching that. Do you know who the guests are yet?
I don't know who the guests are tomorrow night, but I know the guests, some of the guests from all the season. Louis Anderson, Maria Bamford, Andy Kindler, Bert Kreischer, Russell Peters, Brian Regan, Andrew WK. All these people are showing up all season.
I bet. Here's my belief. Brian Regan is going to talk about the first time he did stand-up. Because it's maybe the single funniest story I've ever heard. And I fucking was hurting while he was telling it on Unmasked. Like, it was painful. It was so fucking clueless and hilarious. It was so great. But those are all great names. He's got a fucking hit show there. Congratulations to Ari Shaffir. Let's break back Bennington. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Dennis Falcone Show. My name's Dennis, and I'll be here for the next 4 hours of your wedding or party atmosphere. Looks like somebody's in need of a calendar girl. We got to get Dennis to stop by sometime. We can't seem to get him on our show. I think he's signed an exclusive with Opie.
Yeah, I figured he might, but at least we get little bump-ins in the hall.
Yeah, and he does a quick break with me while I'm peeing. He's aligned his bladder with mine so that we pee at the same time.
You guys are just like linked.
Yeah,
You're
and then
so
he'll be like,
insane.
well, what about Foghat? Remember, they had some hits. We discussed that for a minute. Tim Tebow, an American hero, he saved a man by placing his hands on him and then stopped that man from taking what I would call a fever fit.
He has, well, he's able to channel power. It's
And the
not
power
him.
is the Lord's power.
Yeah. I mean,
Faith.
he has to give the glory to him.
That's
From
right.
what I understand, that's what they say. It seems like that's what he does.
Now, the Lord came to the help and aid of one of the editors from the iBang was doing something on the road somewhere, and a car comes screaming down the hill in the wet when it was raining the other day, flipped over, young person driving, smashing the whole thing, and this editor from the iBang went running, screaming the whole way, call 911, call 911. You know, like a lunatic. I believe kicked in the window and was assisting them getting out, and then the police got there and took it over. But at the time when it was flipped over, they didn't know whether there was like gas coming down or whether it was going to be like in a movie explosion.
Wow. That is really
Wrist,
scary.
life, and limb. So that's when we tell you to go to the Interrobang, ladies and gentlemen. We're saying go to, you know,
The heroes.
I don't use the word hero. I mean, I've been called a hero because I returned a cell phone before.
That was good.
It was just a flip phone though. It wasn't even a smartphone
Yeah,
when I
but
did it.
back in that day,
Yeah.
that the value of that You know, you have
those
to
were like
think about it.
$40, I think. Now with the smartphones, like somebody loses their computer. Chris, what's the problem with us and Dennis? What do we got to do to get him to drop by fear? And we don't see Disco Dan at all anymore.
No.
We're on his shit list.
Yeah, he just hangs out on 37. He's just a 37 boy.
He looks uncomfortable up there. I swung by his desk.
Everybody's
and he
uncomfortable
looks
up
like
there.
he doesn't know where to put his arms or something. He
You
just
should
looks
take
very,
him off.
He looks very uncomfortable with his new surroundings, his brand new floor, his strange blue cubicle, which have become the norm around here.
It's weird.
The blue cubicle is the way that the NASA people saw Earth from space. It was just a small blue cubicle. And everybody that you ever heard of, any piece of history, all took place in that cubicle.
I never thought of it that way.
There's a hero. One time, we found a guy on the street, and my friends took his wallet. He was either passed out, drunk, or whatever. But they stopped the car, jumped out, grabbed his wallet.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So free breakfast for us. It was like one of those things where you're out on there, it's like 5:30, rolling into 6. That terrible time when the sun starts coming up and you still got on last night's clothes.
And you're like, well, this is starting to feel not good.
Ugh. Why am I wearing this grimy clothes?
Ew, I need to change my panties.
And Filthy Chris sleeps in his clothes.
Yeah. Sleep in my pants most nights.
No shirt?
No shirt, just the pants.
Like with belt on?
Yeah.
That's
belt on, no shirt.
Yeah.
That's such a Burt Reynolds move. I can't picture anyone else doing that.
I think I pull it off.
I would have thought you would have kept the undershirt on, but
No.
you pop it all off?
Take it all off, but then a lot of times just leave the pants on.
Or I would have thought you to stay in the undershirt and then take off your pants and underwear. So you were just just in your
He takes off his pants, takes off his underwear, and then puts his pants back on.
he just likes the feel of denim.
Yeah.
when he
I like to
sleeps.
free ball it, when I'm going to sleep. But in pants.
Well, I have to write that in your next write-up for your fucking iTunes show.
As long as there's 5 stars and you're subscribing, I'm happy with it.
Why don't you change the name of your show to iTunes, YouTunes, we all tunes for iTunes?
Is that a good name?
Well, I don't know what that has to do with Big Brother, but we can workshop it.
We can work it out. You want to hear something fucking crazy? Today is the 50-year anniversary of the release of the song Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus.
50 years?
50 fucking years.
God, how old am I?
And they don't even make music like that anymore. I mean, they make shittier music now.
You know, Miley has come out. She says she'd like to identify now as pansexual.
That means you fuck a frying pan?
Mm-hmm. It means you don't judge on the gender identity as well as the gender.
I don't even get that.
So if you identify as a woman but you were born a man, you are also included in her sexuality. Not just male, female.
Did you know this
cis.
about Miley Cyrus? I'm learning this from Gail Den.
No, but there's a song called "Born a Woman" by Sandy Posey back from the '60s.
Okay.
Okay. And what was that all about? What were the lyrics of Born a Woman?
I don't remember. It was a minor hit.
Uh-huh.
But I know "I Am Woman" by Helen Reddy.
But when you say minor hits, that's just people would listen to in coal mines? The miners would like it? Although there was a song about a coal mine. Let's see.
A coal miner's daughter.
Well, no.
Working in a coal mine, Lee Dorsey.
But I'll change this even. The cannibalism that took place in
yeah.
Timothy.
Timothy
The song
by
Timothy.
Henry Gross.
Yeah.
Henry Gross.
It was about being trapped in this fucking mine.
Yeah.
They had no food to eat, just me and Joe and Timothy. And then by the end of it, they have no memory of it, but Timothy isn't there with them. They don't say where the bones are, though.
This seems dark for a tune.
Well, it was a pop tune, too, and it was a bubblegum song. But
Plus-
that's part of the fun.
Yeah, and then he also depressed people with Shannon, the dog song. Henry
Oh,
Gross.
about the
Shannon is gone.
I hope he's drifting out
Yeah,
to
it's-
space.
yeah.
See, we could be doing this kind of show for volume, you know?
Yeah.
This shit about
free
songs.
association.
I want to call
music.
Volume is going to be a new music channel without music. It's just people talking about music.
It's a great idea.
And Mike Fenoya actually, should be doing his show in there. He does his show. But is he stopping by today?
He's going to be in the building, yeah.
What's in the building mean?
I want to find out what time he'll be in the building.
Oh, my God. Dennis, I'm sorry you had to see this. You're a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
How long you been in radio?
Since 1979.
1979.
Yeah.
The first song you played was?
Chic, I Want Your Love.
Oh, good tune.
Yeah, and then I said, now give me your purse.
Oh, I love it. Now,
where's my bell? Ding, ding, ding.
You don't need a bell, right? The bell's inside. That's in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what would you like to be the last song that you play?
Edward Bear. This is the last song I'll ever play for you.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
That is
isn't it?
sad. I
Yeah.
thought it was going to be Last Dance.
Goodbye, I Love You, Firefall. That was a good song. I played that when I got fired from a radio station. It was a rare thing when they told me you're getting fired on Monday.
Yeah.
And, you're getting fired on Friday, but it's like I came in on a Wednesday. And it was boxes in my office. It was cardboard boxes in the office.
Well, where do you wait to this Friday? Now,
when Black Friday comes, Steely Dan.
Steely Dan, the great Steely Dan.
Too.
Now, you were saying that they're obsessed with Steely Dan, Gail, and the show Hello There.
Yeah. Oh Hello has the intro, like while you're waiting for the music, for the play to start, is all Steely Dan. And there are several references to them being the world's biggest Steely Dan fans.
Wow.
So that's odd. That's another thing.
Yeah, it's very specific, but for whatever reason.
And there's Steely Dan posters all over the set as well.
And they'll be at the Beacon Theater on October 28th.
They're at the Beacon Theater quite a bit. I remember for years, I'm like, oh man, I hope I get to see Steely Dan somewhere, because they didn't tour for years.
Right.
And now they're, I think, playing the Crown Round every fucking Friday and Saturday night.
You know, in later years, Becker and Fagan were part of the, background band for Jay and the Americans.
Well, that wouldn't be in the later years. That would have been in the early years. Later years is now.
Well, I'm talking late 60s, early 70s.
That's not the later
Kind of
years.
after the hits.
But yeah, you mean Jay's later years. Okay, not their later years.
No.
All right, that's a fun little fact. Well, a lot of people did that kind of stuff like before they took off.
Yeah.
Glenn Campbell played with the Beach Boys for years, and
Joe Pesci was with Joey D and the Starlighters. Yeah.
Well, I remember his big album, Little Joey Sure Can Sing, and it's fucking hilarious.
Really?
See if you can find, I think he sings Got to Get You Into My Life. So this is before he was the Joe Pesci that we all know. He was an actor, plus he was like a nightclub singer when that kind of thing still existed.
Right.
You got it, Chris?
Not yet. I will have it in a minute.
YouTube should have it. Joe Pesci, Got to Get You Into My Life.
That was by Earth, Wind and Fire, the best Beatles song cover ever.
I would have said Joe Cocker. She came in through the bathroom window.
Okay.
What about for you, Gail?
Gosh, what's difficult? Oh, you know what it is? I think best Beatles cover would be the Breeders doing Happiness is a Warm Gun.
Oh, that's very strong. It's very strong.
And there was also Silky. You got to Hide Your Love Away from the 60s.
That's it. You got so much of this trivia down. Chris, why don't you play this for us? This is Joe Pesci, the singing Got to Get You Into My Life. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Fun, yeah.
I think it's really great. I love that you can hear his speaking voice in his singing voice. You know, some people, they kind of disappear into whatever character they're playing while they sing.
You could hear him singing at the Champagne Room in the Hotel Montana. Right?
I love the fact that he probably cut this during the 60s, and it just sounds a little mobbed up.
Yeah.
And he doesn't... He sounds like the way he sings and even talks, you could think the man could have a small package. But I've heard from people in the know who say he has a porn dick.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Perhaps the most fascinating thing we came up with today.
Do you think that could be on the Golden Throat series?
That would be perfect for that. Gail, Christine wants you to text her because she lost her phone and now she needs everybody to text her. And she said, I want to swoon over Brock O'Hearn with her.
I saw that she liked that picture.
Jay's not into the conversation. And then she gives like 4 little faces that have hearts in their eyes, which is I was Jay, I'd be very concerned about this.
Lovey-dovey, yes.
Yeah.
I've noticed that a lot of people, when a woman says a man is attractive, or like, of course, was all very clear, my love for Bracco, it would never occur to me to say to a man, like, isn't your wife jealous that you find Angelina Jolie attractive? But men say it to women all the time. Like, they go, like, people were tweeting to me, like, hey, is your man annoyed that you find this person attractive? And I'm like, why are you asking me that? That's so, I would never occur to me to ask someone. It would never occur to me.
Like those commercials with Matthew McConaughey,
yeah.
For Cadillac, they're annoying commercials. But my wife goes, yeah, but. Yeah, but.
But she's talking about his butt.
I looked good in my 1973 Chevy Vega. It was a mustard color.
But a brown mustard or bright
More
yellow?
of a yellow.
Yeah.
More of a yellow, like not a spicy Golden's mustard.
But a nice hot.
It was a hatchback. It was a hatchback. Had the aluminum block engine, which cracked.
Weren't you the cool kid in the neighborhood?
That's right. Until I got my Plymouth Duster.
And then you had just stacks of 45s as you were driving to your next gig.
Yeah, that's right. But I had an in-dash 8-track, an Audiovox in-dash 8-track.
Always great because they would flip in the middle of songs. So there are certain songs to this day that it gets to a certain point. I expect the song to
Wait, it would flip mid-song?
It would happen, yes.
Like rock and roll music by Zeppelin, then you'd have to wait for Livin' Lovin' Maid to play.
Yeah.
I had no idea that they did that.
I remember...
That's horrible.
Yeah. It was Grand Funk's Closer to Home, which was a very long song.
That's a long song.
So in the middle of the song, it flipped over and you had to wait for the next track to pick up halfway through.
Yeah.
Quite annoying.
But they were the cool things. They basically were more popular than cassettes. Cassettes came out, I think, a little after that.
Yes, they were out before cassettes. Yeah. But, do you think that the music business did that on purpose? Like, let's go to this. So people had to re-buy. Like, I bet Dark Side of the Moon must have been the most repurchased fucking album because if people feel like they have to have it.
Right.
But it came out vinyl, cassette, 8-track, CD, and then you got to download. It's just constant. You had to go back and get that.
I had heard that Springsteen, Born to Run, was the last produced album that went on 8-track.
Is that right?
I heard about that. I'll have to check that up. It is a little fun fact. I'd like to get on that Pump Up the Volume channel. Pump Up the Volume.
Well, I'm going to be doing my things on there, but they're also going to invite people to come on and talk with them as well. Like this would be a show.
This is a show.
What we're doing is a show.
Right.
Show.
Shooting the breeze.
Shooting the breeze, just...
We could play some Leonard Skinner under that song.
Well, see, that's the thing. They're not allowed.
Oh, I think they could play hooks. I mean...
there's short hooks.
But they can't play whole songs.
We do what we want.
Right, exactly. Opie plays full songs to open a show all the time.
Easy.
Okay.
Sam finds out about that. This trouble starts.
That's right. This trouble
By the way,
brewing.
I noticed this, and I went to ask you. You chose Opie over Sam and Jimmy.
Well, they kind of chose that they weren't going to use me because I have an association of Opie.
You know why, right?
Why is that?
Loose lips sink ships.
Not me. I told Sam, I said, I don't say anything. I don't want to end up in a hole in the desert.
You got to treat everything like it's an AA meeting. And by that, I mean, bring your own flask. Good night, everybody.
But they had Anthony on this morning.
Oh, you're only calling them they. You won't even say their fucking names.
Jimmy and Sam.
Yeah.
And they had Anthony on. He always sounds good when he calls in. It's nice. I wish he could come back.
Well,
it's like Michael Corleone coming back.
Right.
And from The Godfather.
It's, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I had a joke and then I thought the better of it.
Okay.
It's too bad because it's a good joke.
That's okay.
Tell me later.
Let's do it now and we'll delete it. We'll
take it out. Yeah.
Yeah, take it out. I go, it's hard to unchoke someone. And then we could all have a big laugh.
Right.
And when we be done,
all right.
And we go on our way. But that's been proved not even to be true. That's why I didn't want to say it because it could.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be taken because I'm like you, Dennis. I love everybody.
I try to. I try to get along with everybody.
I wonder if I'll have to choose whose show I'm able to stop by, or they'll choose for me.
Yeah, they'll choose for. I think Sam just doesn't want to overplay the bit, but they've called me in.
I think that they've set up a sorting hat, and that's how how it's decided.
Well, I did show my loyalty to this side of the team because someone from the Howard team, they sent out an email saying they want people to come down and do voices. And I said, I have an association. I'm sort of like a distant cousin to the Opie radio gang.
What kind of voice would you be doing?
I have no idea. I guess they want to do.
Dude, you got to take this shit. You got to take the shot.
Well, no.
Go down there and be a voice guy.
No, you have to be loyal. I'm loyal. You have to be loyal. You know.
I'm only loyal to one thing, and that's ISIS. That's all I care about.
To
Yeah.
ISIS?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were associated with them in any way.
Oh, yeah. I am. I love those guys.
Really?
Yeah. They gave me a vest. I'm going to wear it to work tomorrow.
What are you with college buddies or something?
Yeah, it's not so much college. I was in a car gang with them. I mean, you ever say a motorcycle gang?
Yeah. Sure.
Well, we were just all driving cars together.
Wow. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I was walking down 6th Avenue, and I hear this beep of a horn. It was like a specialty horn. You ever hear that? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I look up, and it's this long Rolls Royce, white Rolls, and had horns, like big steer horns on the front of it. And Sam was in the back, and he's like this. Bennington, how are you doing? He's doing well.
He seems like he's on top of the world.
He is.
Get in the car. We want to talk to you. Yeah, Sammy's all right. Sam's a good guy.
Oh, Sam?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He does a lot of show prep. Comes early. Always did.
Always did. That's why you value someone, how much show prep they do.
Yeah, he's always
and
writing
punctuality.
things down.
Yeah. You like people who write stuff down.
Yeah, you have to. You know, you have to. If you what's that? If you don't prepare, you're failing to. You prepare to fail. Then right?
You must love Chris then, because
these guys are in early. I see these guys.
Yeah. Well, they deal meth out of here. It's a lot easier for them.
That's their second job.
They're always in there early. You know.
Yeah. No one's sleeping.
That's nice.
When they're on meth.
You got some dedicated crew members.
You know, the biggest post today, a lot of people are thinking that it's Philly stuff, is the crazy ex-girlfriend showing up at the house.
Yeah, this is, well, it's a match made in heaven, really. I mean, this is how you can gauge true love.
It's a girl, she shows up, and she's banging on the door to get back in with an ex who she had recently just punched in the face. Go ahead and play a little bit of it.
Can you please leave?
Open the door.
Why would I? You just punched me in the face.
You punched me, you bitch!
You punched me in the face first. What do you want me to do? You're lucky I didn't punch you. I pushed you on the ground.
How fucking dare you!
You hit me in the face.
You pushed me down!
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did!
Yeah, after you hit me in the fucking cheekbone.
Cheekbone!
He got hit in the cheekbone!
Yeah, that's why I didn't punch you. I pushed you on the ground to get you away from me.
Fuck you up!
Get off my property.
Open the fucking door!
Call the cops.
Open the door!
Open the door!
No, you're fucking nuts.
Open the door!
No! Go away!
Open the door!
He just happened to have the camera rolling for all that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it's your phone.
Yeah.
It's your phone.
That didn't have the VHS.
No, not back in your day. It would have been totally different.
It needed a crew.
Yeah. Remember the big VHS that you used to carry on your shoulder, the big
Dude,
camera?
it was like fucking carrying around a refrigerator.
Big.
Yeah.
It was big.
And people would rent them. They would go to a store and rent the camera.
Yeah. Visiting my grandparents a couple of years ago, and they played for me a video of when I was an infant, and realized like you rented a camera to send them a video of me as a baby. So that was not like a home camcorder.
And then we used every
massive.
second of it. It was so annoying. Went on for days. There she is.
My dad used to have Super 8.
Super 8, yeah.
But there was of course, there was no audio back then.
Yeah, there was no sound
And
at
really, all it is people at the Thanksgiving or Christmas holiday.
You ever see the ones that people would like be going like this because the old ones would have a light on it, so everybody would look up. All your grandparents would be looking up.
Now, I thought that they did have audio. I thought all of them just came with "What would you do?"
And it's always a kid picking up the giant Coke bottle like he's drinking it.
Yeah.
picking up a cigarette. You know,
Act like you're jacking. Hey,
we didn't do
look at
that
this.
at the Christmas table.
Sperming.
I don't know what you were
I like that it was just always just waving though.
A lot of waving.
Because there's no audio. There's like, for the most part, it's like a picture that waves.
A lot of it would be funny too that the kid would turn around and run fast to show you how fast he was. I don't know if children today are even obsessed with how fast they are.
I'm sure that is something that a child is just born with. I don't know what it is, the speed obsession as a kid, where you're just like, I'm pretty much the fastest in my grade.
I used to do that with my sons. I used to say, could you go downstairs and get Daddy a beer? And I say, Michael, Dean beat you last time by 3 seconds. You got to beat that record.
This is what I would do with Gail. Gail, do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go get it. Ready? 1, 2,
Go.
and then I would be like, she'd come running back, and I'd be like, 18, 19, and when she would get close, she would just chuck whatever it was at me. I so wanted to get it there. You know, a fucking beer just whipping by my head. It's adorable to make children get you stuff.
They'd yell up from the basement, you want a Schmitz?
Schmitz, that goes way back.
Remember, they used to come in a 16-ounce bottle.
Joe Schmitz out of Philadelphia.
And the problem is, when you drank like 7 out, I mean, it would get warm.
Scuzz. You go straight Scuzz.
Like, you remember Carling Black Label?
Black Label.
Hey, Mabel. Yeah, it was that. Peels. We had Peels. Did you have Peels in Philly?
I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, I know Peels, but I don't remember if it was...
Bert and Harry Peels. It was Bob and Ray, I believe, who did that.
Oh, did that their commercials?
Yeah, I believe so.
Fucking so great.
They were great, Bob and Ray.
Yeah.
They were really fun.
Do you know most of those things they never even performed live? A lot of the stuff.
Really?
Yeah, they were just really radio guys.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah, they didn't really have comics like that in performing live. Not until, I guess, maybe like Lenny Bruce and Bob Newhart and those guys.
Newhart did all of his stuff. He didn't perform it live and then went out and performed the album after the fact.
Really?
But I think he recorded all. Cheech and Chong recorded their stuff
right.
in studio before they went out.
Bob Newhart was the button-down mind of
The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart was the name of that album.
Yeah.
Went to #1, maybe the first comedy album.
Yeah.
And then he had the #1 and #2 album. He put out another one right after. And they were #1 and #2.
Yeah. Did the driving instructor, it was one of the big bits on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is what we could be doing if they'll let us on at volume.
Yeah. Useless
Chris, you're not
information.
involved in any of this. You find yourself not,
He's a youngster.
Our guest was texting us. That's all.
Okay.
Oh, how many times did
You
I
were
tell
texting
you,
them.
move over in the other fucking room if you're going to do the text guy.
Yes.
So who texts first?
Ari texted first.
What's his text say? I'm
He
going to
said,
be late.
I'm going to be 12 minutes late.
He can be as late as he wants to be.
Ari Shaffir?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a good guy. I did the videotape with him when he had the colonoscopy.
Oh, that's great. That's like a piece of trivia.
Yeah.
Chris,
Fun
you'd
fact.
be, if you were you would be doing, why don't you give us one musical fun fact?
All right. Do you know Elvis Costello? That's not his real name.
Yes, everybody knows that. Everyone.
That was my fun fact. I didn't fuck that up.
I really wanted to learn a fun fact.
All right, here's one for you, though. What name would he sometimes do shows under long before a movie of the same name? I'll just tell you. Napoleon Dynamite.
Really? Well,
Napoleon Dynamite stole that and never once credited him.
really?
Yeah.
Why did they take that? It's very specific.
Because they're bastards. They're filthy scumbag
They're
bastards.
bastard people.
I was when Napoleon Dynamite came out, I was one of the few people who didn't think it was funny at all. It was just like, this isn't funny to me.
Yeah, it was very much of its time. It was like one of those things, like everyone loved it so much, and then like 2 months later, everyone's like, "That was a silly face."
Why'd I buy this Vote for Pedro shirt?
You still wear yours, though, right?
I mean, it's a throwback.
Now, when I saw that, I thought they were voting to get Pedro Martinez into the Hall of Fame.
That actually would. That's.
It was like the same.
Yes, like the same thing.
Yeah,
just pure racism.
I'd vote for Pedro.
Look at that. They claim Trump and Hillary are tied in Utah because a guy that no one's ever heard of from an independent guy is almost winning Utah.
So that's Evan McMullen?
I think he's from the Constitution Party.
I don't know where he's from. I never heard of him. But Mr. Trump is in Florida holding a rally.
Oh.
Yeah, that's always
You call him Mr. Trump?
Yeah, because when I mentioned this the other day on the Opster show, that Donald Trump Jr. was up here couple months ago, and I gave him my business card for my DJ business, and I said, "Look, when your dad wins, I want to DJ the celebration party." And he goes, "Why not?"
Which son?
Donald Trump Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the one that kills lions?
Yeah, he's a hunter. He's a hunter.
But he gets on a plane to hunt, huh?
Well, he doesn't shoot from the sky.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
he's got
you
like a turret.
Yeah, I mean, like, why wouldn't you just say, "I live in New York, I'm gonna hunt something around here"?
Like
why would you go to
upstate.
another continent? And how do you get the gun? What do you got to do? Could you put it in like a carry-on? This long, crazy gun.
Maybe mail it to yourself.
You could just hunt rats.
Yeah,
like what's his name did in that Woody Allen movie where he was played like Django and guitar player.
Django Unchained.
Yeah, no, not Django Unchained.
Django Reinhardt, the Sean Penn. So you're talking about.
That was a fun movie.
Well, I don't know if it's fun, but
he used to
the
take his
fact that you
girlfriends to
enjoyed it.
shoot rats.
Yeah, well, these were different times. You know, it was the jazz era.
Yeah,
things were
he's going to
crazy
shoot
then,
rats.
Benny. So, what do I got to do to get you on the Sam and Jimmy show?
I would just
But hope he banned you?
Of course not. It's a family. I mean, when one show does good, the other show should do good. You want. I don't know why they're not running cross promotes. Hey, tomorrow morning on
That would be great. Maybe you could be the guy who does that.
Yeah, tomorrow morning we'll be talking to.
But the fact is, none of us here fucking prepare tomorrow's show. That's crazy.
Well, you might have a guest, and we could possibly have Nick Nolte stopping by.
I never trust when they say somebody's coming by.
No, you should never do that.
I never would be like, "Oh, coming up in the next hour." No. I'll do it with Ari Shaffir because people won't be devastated if he doesn't come
He's
in.
12 minutes late.
Yeah.
You said he's going to be here at 2. It's 2:15 and he's not here yet.
Then I'm out.
What's going on?
Who was in here not too long ago that was petrified and they came running up? It was somebody, because they were out of the TV world. And when people work in TV, you have to get there exactly. Where radio, take your time, big man.
Ted Danson?
No,
Ted
he
Danson.
wasn't late.
Why would Ted Danson ever come in apologizing?
I'm so sorry.
Rory Albanese.
Very good.
That
Chris.
is correct.
Bing, bing.
Fun fact.
That is correct.
Well, it's not a musical fun fact. Like if I was to ask you, Chris, who made and remade "Last Kiss," one of the greatest songs of all time?
I don't know.
Oh where can my baby be? Well, I'm going to give you the remake. Was of course Eddie Vedder and his band Pearl Jam. Who did the original?
J. Frank Wilson and his group called the Cavaliers.
Very nice. He even got J. Frank Wilson.
There was
Very
a whole series of those teen songs. Lori, remember the girl who left her sweater and she died?
Yeah.
And he went back to get the sweater, and the whole thing like that.
Well, Weezer did the sweater song that you guys
Sure,
love
it's
so
a sweater
much.
song, so that's sweater related.
I'm done.
Now, do you like today's pop tunes as much as you do the oldies? You have the same love?
But I was never the kind of guy say, today's music, it's not, because people said that in the 40s, about the big band. It's not, stuff's not going to last.
Yeah.
And you just sound old and everything. I like to stay, up to what's going on. And
Well, you always told me the only kind of music that you don't like, you call it Jew music. And you said...
You said that?
I like Clemser music. Is it Clemser? I like that.
They're playing that Jew music over there. The young people.
No, I would never say that.
Non-Yom Kippur.
No.
Oh, yeah. Ari's coming in on Yom Kippur.
High holiday.
He might not be a practicing Jew.
Hey, come on, dude. Let's just watch it with that stuff. Okay?
He's chosen no matter what.
Yeah. Chosen one. The tribe. As
Are you a big
Bunker said.
Grammy person? Do you care who won the Grammys and who didn't?
I mean, what was it? 1964 when Louis Armstrong won, and the Beatles didn't they? Never won
I think
a
they won
Grammy?
one
Yeah.
Grammy over the
That's
years.
it?
Yeah. It's not a true representation.
One of the weirdest things, a Grammy was won by my grandmother. Yeah, it's called the Grammy. Yeah, that's why we called it the Grammy.
And they still didn't get it when Jethro Tull won for Best Metal Group. You remember?
I wish that would come up more.
Yeah.
Is it because it was too fluty?
Doug Flutie came out the same year, and they got confused.
It's weird that would confuse them.
Sure. They were like, I guess he's now quarterback for Boston College, Jethro Tull. Vito only listens to one artist and one artist only, Mr. Bruce Springsteen.
Only thing.
And today's his day.
And then, as I said yesterday, sometimes Third Eye Blind, but that's it. Those two.
His second favorite band.
Come by my office. I have the Rolling Stone with Bruce on the cover.
I understand that you're a pack rat. You don't throw out anything.
I used to do. I'm trying just to. I mean, I have like cases of baseball cards at home, like the '82 set, and
Are you sentimental? Is that why?
Yeah, it's tough to get rid of stuff. Sometimes I'll just.
It's like a piece of your life is dying.
Exactly. I still haven't gotten rid of my records.
Still got your records?
Yeah, I still got them in some nice milk crates.
But then why do you care about like other people's stuff? Like Vito and I were throwing some stuff out.
Take your time.
We don't
know
want
what
this?
you're saying.
Yeah.
Say it nice.
Vito and I were throwing some stuff out.
Yeah.
And then Denny came in and said, "Don't throw anything out. I'll take it."
Yeah.
So how are you sentimental
He's
about ours?
sentimental about you.
Because you know what I'll do? If say you throw out like a Deep Purple box set of like a
You were
a
throwing
live
that out?
concert.
Yeah,
I'm just saying what I would do is when Jim Florentine would come in here, like anything kind of metal, I would pass on to him because he's
that's
a metal
nice.
guy. It's almost like
Yeah, but
sort,
he's
of,
like
a,
gonna
sort of a
read
regifting.
But yeah,
I'm
you
just
gonna
saying.
rehome.
Maybe-
You're kind of like a foster family.
I tried maybe a Pantera album or something
No,
like
there
that.
you
See,
are.
he might like something like that. So I
perfect
just
for him.
would give it to him. I remember once there was a whole travel magazine set, and I gave it to Jim Norton because Jim said he would like to discover traveling and do things. So I brought him some stuff like
Now,
that.
has it worked for him? Has he been traveling since he saw your magazines?
Not for leisure.
Yeah.
Just for work.
Yeah, I don't see him traveling other than to do a gig.
Yeah.
But he'll go anywhere to do a gig.
Yeah.
But to
He
just
wouldn't-
get away?
He wouldn't go on a jungle safari or anything
No,
like that.
not unless there was, 4 one-nighters all strewn together.
Yeah.
That he could do one after another. What is it, Vito? You're driving me nuts.
We weren't only throwing. We were not throwing away box sets and stuff. We threw away like loose pieces of paper and like packaging.
Okay.
And then he came by and said, "Hey, do you guys need any plastic bags? Because I have tons of plastic bags if you guys need any."
That sounds helpful.
Oh, yeah. I have a case of it
Dude,
with the old Sirius logo.
You know how I bring bags in for you?
Yeah.
Man, I either left it in the cab or at my house this morning.
Ooh.
Hope not.
Because
cab.
yesterday you tried to put me in a fucking plastic, what do you call it?
A bag lady.
Shopping bag.
I'm gonna order some bags. I'm gonna expense them.
Just said I got him either at my house or the cab. I got my cab driver's number, so I'm going to give him a call.
Or what'd you leave in the car?
You missed everything I said? Bag of bags.
Bag of bags.
It's a whole bag of
A bag of bags. A
bag of bags.
Who did that song?
What's that?
Who did the song?
That was a Muppet song.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
before that, it was based on a...
Oh, yeah. That
Yeah.
was an Italian song. Piero, what the heck was his name? Or something. It was an Italian song. Yeah, I think.
All right, I'm going to give you a song. Let's see.
Something like that.
All right,
It's
I'm
Italian
going
song,
to
Piero
say the name of a song, and you guys bet whether Denny's going to get it or not, right?
So that he has to pick the artist.
No, I'll pick. I'm going to
Okay.
just name it. Yeah, he's going to pick the artist.
Yeah.
You're looking for money in your wallet. Why don't you just all be friends instead of fucking betting on
I thought you
anything?
meant bet money.
Oh, God.
Why just suddenly? He's just got his wallet open. He's going through it.
Okay.
Weirdo.
Let me try.
You got to say whether he's going to get it or not get it.
All right.
The name of the song is My Green Tambourine.
Lemon Pipers.
Oh, my God. You
Oh,
didn't even let him bet.
Oh, I got
You didn't let him bet.
Oh.
And I was going to say get.
Huh?
I was going to say he was going to get it.
You know,
That's
the
a tough
Lemon
one, though.
Pipers. Well, the Lemon Pipers were on a TV show back in the 60s, a sitcom, just a one-off thing. F Troop.
I have no idea this. This is mind-blowing to me.
Yeah. They used to have music groups like that show up on TV shows. Yeah. I think there was one.
But how would they been back on F Troop? I mean, those were they playing their song?
No, no, they were doing sort of like Civil War music. You know, back to the 18.
It's like the Shrimp Shack shooters.
Captain Geach.
We need a break here, so
Yeah, we should break.
I just got a text from Opie.
Yeah.
And it just said simply, "You want the motherfucker? You got them. You got him. Tell Denny he's no longer welcome here."
Oh, my God.
I
Harsh.
feel bad.
I thought I was like a spinoff from like a sitcom.
I would have loved that.
Like Gomer Pyle was a spinoff from the Andy Griffith Show.
Danny is disagreeing with you on something.
Okay. It's okay.
Danny, what do you got, buddy?
Hey, all right. I may be wrong with this, but I don't think I am. But J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers did not originally record Last Kiss. It was Wayne Cochran, 1961.
The hit, I guess, all right, I'll take that, but the hit version.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, the one that people recognize and know. I know what you're saying. I understand that.
Let's hear the Wayne Cochran version, because I don't even know it.
And that would be our first and foremost category.
It's a little funkier.
Okay.
All right, let's take a listen to it. Let's see if you're correct about this. I never heard this version.
No, I'll give you that.
You know what?
That's great. That's great. Thank
Danny,
you.
I'm sending you to our Denny Falcone prize closet. We'll give you something nice. You deserve it. That was a very exciting
Great.
moment.
That was great. That's great. I love stuff like that.
I've never heard this version of this.
It's almost like happier.
Yeah, I know. He's a little up about it.
So
His
like,
heart isn't broken.
Peppy and bursting with love.
Yeah. It's like a girlfriend he didn't love.
That's great. What's
Was killed.
that fella's name?
The one who just, his name is Danny.
That's Danny. That's terrific. That's good stuff. That's why I'm really looking forward to this volume channel, because
me
people, there's people out there who know these things. People have just a passion for music.
You're right about that.
I got to dig this one up and put it on the hard drive of hits.
Denny Falcone, tell everybody where they can hear you.
I'm on the 70s on the weekend when I use the name. You might not recognize me as Dennis the Menace. Mm-hmm. And I also do a little Sunday night thing on the 60s just to keep my hand in it, because I am busy during the week.
Yeah. And what do you do during the week?
I program music. I run a music scheduler, and I write stuff and help out the radio shows. Yeah,
Dennis Falcone. I'll be listening to the 70s on 7 this week. What are you counting down?
No, I don't do a countdown. Casey Kasem does the countdowns every week.
I don't know how to give you the bad.
I love those.
I don't know how to give you the bad news, but he's not with us anymore.
But we have those things
forever.
They're great stuff. I remember collecting the records when I worked at radio station. That's how they came on vinyl back in the day.
You would just put on a record, and it would be Casey Kasem.
Yeah, it was the countdown show. Would be the countdown.
So, wow, that's so neat.
And he would be on like 300 stations and would send out 300 of these.
Yeah. And they would where would they press them? There?
Yeah, they would. He was out of LA. They would press them, and then overnight mail. This is the way. Now these days, you kids have what's called a download or a stream. Right back. Ari Shaffir is going to be here. Thanks to Denny Falcone, Dennis the Menace. This is Bennington.
It's like a 140-character live journal. It's hashtag Bennington. Tweet it.
Ari Shaffir is here with us.
Ari Shaffir. You think they had to make a decision about to drop the apostrophe from all internet stuff? Harry's. Yeah.
Hey, isn't it great to bring you in the middle of a spot?
Oh, yeah. I don't mind, as long as you don't have to do it like all contrived.
No. I don't like a contrived spot either.
You can make jokes about the death penalty during spots. They're all right.
Every once in a while you'll hear like, "What the hell happened?" But there was one thing in particular, that I did. This was years ago, and the competition used it against them.
Really?
Like, I think they said, "Look who brought up a rape during their commercial," and Ari Shaffir, though,
I got thrown off. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got thrown off. Yeah. I got Tom. Sorry, I'll just say it. But I was doing a read for some mattress company, and Tom Segura, comedian, he brought it to me, and so I just, instead of saying whatever, I was just saying how soft it was and how Tom takes it in the ass from his wife on strap-ons, and his knees are oh so soft on the Casper mattress or whatever it was, and they were like, no.
I think if you're going to advertise on a podcast, you've got to be a little freewheeling.
You got to be.
Because you're not dealing with old school professional broadcasters who care about stuff. Like, if Denny Falcone was here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wants to do it word by word. He wants to call the client, go over it. There's a professionalism there.
He's an old school kind of guy. He's a throwback.
Yes.
Yeah, the new people are just like, we'll sell it for you. That's all.
This is not happening October 13th, midnight on Comedy Central. Season 3. Big guest all year this year, too.
Yeah. First Emmy winner this year, Louis Anderson.
Louis Anderson, who won, he is a cross-dresser on that show, but he won for Best Male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in a gender-fluid world, he should have got the
Best
female.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but then what you're saying is that, I mean, the whole
what if
male-female dividing up the award as strange as it is.
It is, because it's not like a strength-based thing.
Well, I think it is. I think you have to be stronger to be an actor.
Although, I will say this, for women, they get such shit roles. Maybe that's why you have to.
Right, that is true.
You
Yeah.
know,
The women
normally
get-
you're just like, I played the wife, the very concerned wife.
Is he coming back? Did anyone hear from Bruce Willis? There are so many movies,
So
right?
many garbage rolls like that.
Well, there's so many roles that are just to prove that Bruce Willis isn't gay, right? Like, he has to call home. So you're like, okay, he has a chick.
Somebody's watching him.
Yeah.
I heard it was that way ever since King Kong. Like the only reason women exist is to help be a savior to a man.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You come home to me, Jimmy.
The amount of tears
Yeah.
shed by women in film.
Yeah. Wait, what if you? What's it called when you gender? What when you associate with a certain gender? What's that word they always
Gender
use?
identity?
Yeah. What if you identify as? If he started identifying as a woman, would he have to become as female? Actually?
Yeah,
I would
I
say-
think that they would give.
Look, Caitlyn has proven that all you got to do is put on a wig. Because if you don't do anything to your penis, then how are you a woman?
It doesn't matter. Yeah. And press conference.
Does not matter.
Yes.
Wig
yeah.
and a press conference.
Yeah. But yeah, it is very funny that, and they did that early on, men's and women's. But then you don't do that in like writing, like a Pulitzer Prize, best male writer this year.
No,
Yeah.
they
Best
don't.
female. They don't do it at any other place. Best male screenplay, best female screenplay.
Oh, you're right.
Just for
Best
the
male
roles.
director, best female director.
I guess because they say like some roles can't be played by men or can't be played by women.
Right.
Well, you tell that to Shakespeare
Yeah,
because
Joanna Man. Joanna Man was a man.
But you know, I was bringing
Tell the
this up.
Shakespeare. Yeah, you're right.
I was bringing this up earlier that Miley Cyrus is now come out as pansexual.
What does that mean? I love it.
So pansexual is not bisexual because bisexual only includes male, female. Pansexual is like, it doesn't matter how you identify or how you were born.
She's in.
I'm in.
Does not include animals though.
Does
But-
not
but
include
it-
animals.
it could-
Human
it-
race.
three ways,
Everyone.
because a lot of gays and straights won't have three ways, and I think a pansexual would.
Will not have a three-way.
Well, a lot of guys won't have a three-way with another guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so and then a lot of women are like, "You bring that bitch in here, I'm out."
Oh, so it's just a matter of like
Yeah.
logistics. It just what can't work.
Yeah, and a lot. But I guess, I mean, when it's two girls and a guy, some people even call that a train. The very small.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
I
gentle
think they,
train.
Yeah, I think
It really does become a different thing. It's
Yeah.
a three-way with or menage a trois with two
Yeah.
girls and a guy, and
I
it's
think
just a
that is-
defiling with a girl.
I think that you will
Yes.
find most women more comfortable with the two female, one male
Yeah,
scenario than even the two male.
I've noticed this too.
yeah.
If it's
Happened
two
before.
women and a man, right? You'll never look over and the women high five at some point.
Yes. So
When it's
here's
when it's two guys and a girl, there's always a high five. The girl will be like, "What was that? Nothing."
But
We're just noticing a moment.
Here's the thing. The reason why is that with the two females and a male, the idea is everyone is involved. Nothing is
Oh
off
yeah,
the
the
table.
two women hook up. The
Yeah.
two
Exactly.
men rarely do.
But then two men and a woman, immediately you've become a centerpiece, and
Right.
that's not very comfortable.
But that's kind of nicer to be like on the mantle.
You're on a pedestal.
Yeah, on the pedestal, so to speak. a spit roasted pedestal.
I'm trying to think. Well, I've known women that won't touch each other during that
No way.
act as well. Yes.
Dude,
Catholics.
I had
I'll just put it that way. Catholics.
Catholics. All right. I had a woman quit in the middle of a three-way. Just be like, you guys keep going. I'm kind of out.
This is just.
Well,
what was her? What do you think the reason that she was?
No work ethic.
She was doing too much work for her.
Yeah, she's actually, when we did it alone, she was also like, that's about enough for me. And I'm like, I don't think we're gonna do this.
So she just
anymore.
has a short attention span
Yeah,
when it comes
yeah.
to sex.
I don't know whether it's attention. When she comes, she's done. She's like a guy that way.
Oh yeah.
Like I got mine.
Are you still here? Can you go use the couch?
I'm going to make a sandwich and then you'll be gone by the time I come back. I know a guy, it was two buddies. One was in a relationship and they shared the one guy's girl, and he freaked out because his girlfriend started moaning in a way that he had never heard
Oh yeah.
her moan for him. So it wasn't so much that he got jealous, like, oh, you're a pig, you're with my girl. Because a lot of dudes have done that when they're drunk. Like, let's do this. And then the next day, like, you fucking
Super
proud of
regret
yourself,
it.
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And blame her, like it was her idea. But this guy was so weirded out that it seemed to him that she was enjoying his buddy more, that he stopped being friends with both of them.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
See, you
That's
have to be.
Dude, I've been
open
hinted at
to
it before from guys I know. It's like kind of just like enough where you can tell sort of like,
Right.
I think you're fishing for this. And it's just like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm
Right.
friends with you. I like her. No.
See, Chris his thing is cuck. He's straight cuck. And he,
Oh, you need
he
to
wants
watch
to be on the other side of the room. He's watching, and then you just yell stuff at him.
Stop
Right.
it. Come on.
Are you like
Why are you
touching
doing this?
yourself or?
Just rumors on iTunes.
There's iTunes comments. Come on. Oh, don't put it in there. No.
Somebody could make a fortune playing that part for couples, right?
Oh,
you
yeah.
fucking get them on Craigslist.
You're
and
the
then,
cuck.
yeah,
I'm
the
your
guy-
real boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then like,
Oh my
Sure, honey.
god, fake cuck.
yeah. Maybe you just sit there and like cuddle by the TV for a while. Like, knock on the door. Who could that be? And then some guy's like, get to the corner, even though he's at keys already.
He's already played the bitch.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
like, don't put that giant cock in her. And you get to yell at him, maybe spit on his shoes.
Dude, I would love to do that. Oh my God. I would love to play that role. Not get involved, just watch this stupid stuff. I'll act
like
I'll
you're
get
upset.
into it. Yes, absolutely.
I think we could start a fucking $1 million business like
Yeah.
that.
Ron, pit me for this, please.
Well, you were going to go in with Fez his first time, and that, and it was such a sweet thing. He goes, "Look, I'll just go in with you," because Fez
He had
was worried.
concerns
about getting
yeah.
robbed. That's
He was
right.
worried about
Safety.
getting robbed, but he was also worried what happens if he doesn't get a hard on. And let's face it,
Yeah.
that's very embarrassing if you're 15, 16, 17. At Fez's age, no one's going to yell at him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's something, it'd be like, hey, well, let's have a beer, watch some TV, restart in a few minutes. Let's take the pressure down. But when you came in, you said that you would go for it. That actually gave him more nerves.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Well, because it put that onus on him, like we might actually be doing this for
Right.
us.
Am I really going to happen?
Yeah, but I think there's something about that. It's like a very gentle pimp. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
a
it's
gentle
like
pimp is the best.
It's just there for safety reasons.
Well, Big J had that job where he would take girls out and
yeah.
stay there while the girls
Protect them.
It was like in the movie Maid.
Okay,
He was
gotcha.
that guy. And then if they yelled no, Jay would go over and stop it.
Right.
And babe, please don't.
But he's in
test to
another
see if-
room.
He's in another room, or he was just there because they were dancers, and you have to be careful if they start touching too much. But most of the time, you look over and you just say, "Oh, there's a big guy with them. I'm just going to be cool."
Yeah.
Where a lot of guys won't do that.
They
you
didn't know Jay is a complete pussy and can't fight at all.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he
Because-
loses breath standing up.
Right.
But when you're big, you don't have to fight. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You're
Yes, a
big-
lot of times.
Yeah.
Although some guys, and Vito, you probably would have known this. Some kids like to beat up the big kid, right?
Yeah, it's either you either get away with not fighting or people look at you as, oh, I want to prove.
Right.
that
Greg
I can
Fitzsimmons.
beat
Greg
up the
Fitzsimmons
big
will
guy.
attack big guys.
Yeah.
He'll want to punch a big guy.
It was a very known thing in my fucking neighborhood when we were younger that there would be guys that would look up, and if somebody was much bigger, they'd be like, I'm going to make a fucking name for myself and fuck this guy up. And you look like a guy like Vito, he is a pretty gentle guy, right?
Yeah.
You will fight if you have to.
If I have to, I try not to for the most
Right.
part, but if I have to
When's
fight
the last-
back, I will.
When's the last time you fought, Vito?
The World Series last year.
No way.
Yeah,
That's really
I
recent.
had to run away from the cops. It was bad.
Who did you fight?
Some guy was just harassing me as we left the stadium, and a cop was like, "Don't get arrested, go home." And then he followed me for like 20 feet. And then finally I just couldn't take it. And I turned to my friend, and the guy came up to me and he did the like chest bump thing. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to get hit. So I immediately just hit him in the mouth. And then he went down. And then I heard somebody yell, somebody get that guy. And then I ran away.
You were that guy?
Wow.
Okay, you're that guy.
You're like, wait, who's that guy? Oh no, it's me.
I'm the guy?
I tried to jump.
Now, were you running on all fours with your big front paws?
It was Halloween in Flushing, so it was like the most scared I've ever been about getting arrested. I jumped up onto the Mets home run apple outside. Didn't realize I was running into the post-game conference, so I turned around and ran back. Then a Kansas City Royals fan grabbed me, and I tried screaming because if I was going to get arrested, I didn't want to go down for like multiple counts of assault. So I started screaming, "Oh, there's a Royals fan jumping me! Help me!" And nobody gave a shit. Then finally, the guy's friend bear hugged me, came out of nowhere, and then the dude just runs over and starts hitting me in the head. And it didn't hurt at all, but I acted like it really, really hurt. And I just started screaming like, oh no, my head, my head. And then he got taken off. I looked at his face, and there was blood pouring out, and I was like, oh shit. I ran to the other side. I had another change of clothes in my bag. I changed on the line, and I got onto the train, and I would never, it was awful.
You could be the dullest person who was ever on This Is Not Happening. Ari's show.
In my head, it was really exciting and terrifying.
You had too many details to be in a good story.
It was all right.
Now, Brian Regan is doing your show.
Brian
right?
Regan killed.
Let me guess, though. Did he tell this story about the first time he did stand-up?
No.
Because that is an amazing.
Is it really?
It's unbelievable. You got to have him back
Season
next
4
season.
then. Yeah.
It's
the first time he did stand up. No, he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it goes. He did it on my show one time, and it was so funny. I was fucking seeing white.
Really?
Yeah, because he was just so naive. He was like the most naive person ever.
Where was it? Florida? Did he start? in Florida?
No. Yeah, he started in Florida, but this is when he was in college, so it might have been Ohio. But even the way that he put his press kit together and everything before, it's you know how the funniest thing about Brian is that like dumb character, like that thing that he's able to get to that makes you cringe.
Yeah.
This is maybe even better than his material. It's so funny. What was his story about?
About early on in stand up, he was some job. He was like, they had like a Spuds McKenzie type character for some beer, and he was running for president.
Yeah,
and then Brian had to be his campaign manager. and then it was just pretty much all about that. And going to like radio stations, like, "Where's the dog?" Like, "Oh, he's not. It's radio. They're not. We don't need to bring him here. It's a dog." And they're all disappointed. Yeah, and then going out to like the second intermission of a hockey game and just having it turn really, really bad. God, he was so great. And once he gets that head bob down, he starts like really like, oh, he's in the zone now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said he was like interested. He goes, I don't really do this in my act, so I'm not really gonna run it that much. I'm like, dude, whatever you want to do, it's fine.
Right.
So he said he was a little nervous, but he killed.
But I've always found him to be that way. Like if he tries it, there's something about him that wants to do the right thing so much that he will have decided that he's done something wrong even before he gets to that point. You know what I mean? Like if he just slightly steps on someone else in a conversation, you can see that it hurts him. You know what I mean? Like he wants everybody else to feel good. You know how like you could be, I don't give a shit if Vito's happy or sad over there.
Sure.
He would be like, oh, Ron said that thing to Vito about his stories thinking. I hope he knows that Ron was joking. Like that would be going through his mind all the time. And then he would go over later, hey, your story was good. I know Ron. Ron likes to joke around. But that's his way of saying it. He likes what you're doing.
He is a super nice guy.
It's unbelievably nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really weird to be nice and hysterically funny.
Yeah.
He's like the funniest guy in the room and the nicest guy.
There's stories of him because he lives in Vegas, but I heard he won't perform in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's like his city, doesn't want to like mix it up. But like the stories of him just going to like sit in on people's shows and watch, and they're like, if you want to go hang out after, just like these young comics. They're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Regan's here, just wants to chill.
Well, he has no idea because he stays away from everybody and he isn't part of any scene. He has no idea how. Like, so we did the thing with him at Caroline's a show and on MASH show, and all Gary Gulman was there and shit. And at the end, I'm like, I'll let all the comics ask him a question. He's like, what? He couldn't believe that these people came to see him, and I'm like, yeah, Brian, this has been going on for years.
Yeah, and every one of them just you're my favorite, or like you inspired me, and his face as they were telling him that, you could see he was
he
really,
just has
touched.
no idea
Surprised.
about how beloved he is.
You should have seen the comics pour in to watch his sets, like
Sure.
to fill up the side, like Joe List and the Walsh brothers and all these guys, like Julian McCullough, were like, can I sit in the corner? Can I?
Yeah.
Everyone was just trying to watch his set.
Well, that's because if you want to be funny, his writing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
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 And a lot of people think if you're clean, it's some kind of a gee whiz.
Yeah, not
his
the way he
stuff
does it.
is just killer.
It's incidentally clean.
Yeah.
You don't notice it's clean until somebody quizzes you later, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, maybe it was." Like you don't even realize.
But I remember when he used to cuss.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And I remember.
Get a dirty tape?
Well, it was really funny too because he said to me when I asked him, I go, I remember when you cuss. He goes, well, I used to do a joke that would have fuck in it in the beginning, somewhere in the middle, and then somewhere towards the end. Because there was all bar shit, you know what I mean? It was like a Thursday night bar thing, and he didn't want to make a big deal out of being clean. You know what I mean? Like he did not want to draw attention.
So we know exactly the 3 fucks he used.
Yeah, he'd be like, I'll put a fuck here to make sure no one goes, oh, he's working clean.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes I curse so much that like 5 minutes into like a 7-minute set, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is a lot in my head. I'm like,
I know.
slow this down.
I know. People will say to us from doing this show, why do you curse so much? And I'm like, well, not just there. Not doing it for effect. You know what I mean?
That's how I
I
communicate.
certainly don't think that it's going to help.
Yeah.
And you're probably the worst, Chris.
Oh, by far. Every other word is fuck. Every other word. Fuck or fucking.
He's funny because he'll do it in front of someone's mom.
Yeah.
On the elevator with
on the elevator.
Oh, I feel bad if there's a mom or a kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
But I'm not trying to offend them or anything.
And it's not just fuck. Like, it's not just like, oh, this shit is terrible. Like, he'll make an analogy.
Her cunt was so gaping.
Yeah.
That,
He'll
hello,
say
ma'am.
something crazy. Like, we'll be in the elevator and he's like, I'm getting fucked in the asshole about this thing. I'm like,
Oh,
dude.
yeah. Those people that do that, I'm always like, fuck.
I know.
Shut up.
And you'll actually say, fuck me in my dick hole.
Yeah,
I mean,
stuff
it's
like
like,
that.
He
it's the
said
stuff that other people don't say.
specific
Graphic.
dick hole references.
Graphic and hard to wrap your head around.
Well, like,
there's no reason for it.
Someone's grandmother is on there.
Mind-bogglingly graphic.
But that's because you grew up in New York, being an only child, and you didn't interact with.
And my parents didn't care if I cursed or anything. They were just like,
that's
whatever.
But did you ever realize when you weren't in that situation?
I mean, people just thought it was weird, but no one's like, you can't curse like that.
One time, my parents were at my place for like a couple weeks, and Gail was like 4 years old, and they were driving away, and Gail turns to me and my chick and just starts going, fuck, shit, right? Like, knowing that she'd been holding it in for 2 weeks. And, like, she didn't say, now it's time to curse. She just looked at us and just went, fuck, shit, piss. And we just fell down laughing.
Oh, that's the best. When a little kid curses, it's so great.
Yeah.
And they know they get a reaction. They're like, am I doing the right thing? Like, you're almost training them to be like, I guess that's good.
Do you know the little Trump kid was next door, the Donald Trump mini
mini Trump?
Yeah, he was next door today.
Oh, really?
And he's going around doing gigs now.
They're
And
so cute when they're little.
Well, the mom is like totally. She'll be like, he'll be doing a lot of shows now. She's like taking
she's
full.
voting for Trump
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, she's taking full advantage of this.
And going full, like, stage mom on it.
Got about a month left, possibly, lady. So enjoy it.
What do you think? Who's going to win?
I'm just hoping a bomb goes off, man, at the next debate.
God.
I'm just really hoping. And then everyone's like, what do we do now? And maybe we're just like, maybe we don't need one.
Well, you
Maybe
know,
we don't need one.
There's a TV show about that right now.
About a bomb going off?
Yeah,
At the debate?
designated survivor. This guy, he's like somewhere in the cabinet. And they claim that they actually do this where somebody doesn't go, but the Supreme Court is there, the Congress, the Senate, the president, and a bomb blows up everybody. And this dude who's never been elected to public office, he's just in the cabinet. He becomes
Yeah, that was Battlestar
the
Galactica.
president.
They figured out like the head teacher was the biggest surviving government
Yeah.
member. So like head of the school board. So like I guess
Yeah,
the prez.
it's the King Ralph bit,
yeah.
for real, King Ralph.
Yeah, but that's if you already have a president. We're about to have an election, so Obama would have to step down. And who? I bet Gary Johnson would be like, "What about me?" And we'd be like, "Shut the fuck up, Gary Johnson. We're trying to figure this out."
I tell you, I don't think Trump is going to win, but I'll miss him terribly now.
Yeah.
You know, in the free.
I don't think he'll go away, no matter what happens. I think
they say he's opening up a Breitbart for himself.
I think that he will
Yeah, it'll be that.
continue to stay in the spotlight as much as possible.
It won't be
I mean,
the same amount though. There'll be no press conference. It won't.
yeah,
be.
it won't be
a
the
big deal.
same, but he'll be clawing at it for a long time. I mean, really, that was what the whole birther thing was: is that he couldn't stop with the press conferences and talking about.
But just imagine now, right? If Bernie Sanders walked in, we'd be like, "Hey, Bernie Sanders."
Hey, what's up,
But
dude?
he was being very close. He came very close.
God, he was close.
to
He'd
being
for
followed
sure have been
constantly.
president if he beat
Yeah.
Hillary. There'd be no question.
Now, have you ever met someone who's president while they're president? Because I have. It was
Really?
Bush's dad. Yeah, I had to do some stage announcements, and I didn't give a shit about it. And then when he came in, the fucking feeling in the room. I mean, I'm not kidding when I say
power?
this. Yeah, the room was crackling. Everybody felt it, and everybody was just fucking looking around like, I can't believe this.
I'm in the room with the president.
Yeah, everybody was as awake as they had ever been in their lives. And I watched him like come into like his car coming up, and I felt the energy coming towards us. And I had been there for hours. You got to be there for hours before, to get through all this stuff. So I didn't give a shit about it all day. And I'd been making announcements and coming in and back and forth. And when he came up, it was unbelievable. And like, I don't know, something like a year later, he wasn't president anymore. And I'm sure that thing was, I'm sure he's going to, remember that
you see him
feeling?
now, it probably wouldn't be the same feeling at all.
It wouldn't be,
I've never laid eyes on a president or former president. I've been by the motorcade, I think, for like 3 presidents.
But they have
but I've never actually laid eyes on a president.
There's a certain level of fame that happens. And president is one of the highest levels of it, but it's like another level of like, instead of just like, oh, I know that guy from somewhere. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Rogan told me him and Kevin James were in a meeting room in a hotel, and those 2 pretty famous guys.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise was shooting a movie there, and he was coming in. They were looking out the window at Tom Cruise, and they had to like crane their necks to look in the corner of the window so they could see Tom Cruise. And they noticed each other like craning their necks, and they're like, oh, he's way famous.
Yeah.
Like, we're looking at him.
Well, just not too long ago, I guess it was like a year or 2 ago, we were coming back from the deli, and this car pulls up, and Brad Pitt jumps out, and suddenly Times Square went crazy, and just because he had a movie soon, and was just doing like movie star things, like, hey, and everyone started going crazy. I'm like, holy shit, is that fucking famous?
Yeah, I don't really want that life.
Yeah, I can't imagine it.
It seems really uncomfortable. And it seems like you could lose your mind like that.
For sure.
Like how quickly, like how fast would it take you if you were overnight the biggest celebrity in the country, world famous? How long would it take you to just be like, well, I've lost reality. I don't know.
I saw a Conan interview recently where he talked about fame and how it takes away the gravity from your life, where it's like you can't fuck up. I mean, not that you shouldn't. I mean, it's like you're unable to fuck up because everyone's like, oh, you're good. They're wrong. Like in all moments.
Yeah.
So then eventually you just lose recourse.
Well, yeah, even if you had that thing where if you were just like, I think I'm going to have an egg salad, and 8 people suddenly care, Conan wants to get an egg salad. Why don't you get, because I've seen that happen here with people, and they'll be running around like somebody needs water. I'm like, so?
And then
he's not
I
dying.
did a commercial with Tiger once. Me and my did a commercial with Tiger where they go to Orlando and play EA golf with him. That was great. He wouldn't be his own man too. He was like, no, but then he used like a new man. He was like, how? I didn't even reach that creek. We're like, yeah, man, that's how normal people. That's how normal people play golf. You hit a 190, dude. Fucking enjoy. Yeah. But they were all so taking care of him and stuff, and they were like, don't curse around him. Be respectful. And then as soon as he comes in, he's like, what's up, fuckers? You want to do this shit? And it's like, yeah, you're just a degenerate.
Everything that you worried about was
yeah. He was like, they were like, do you want some broccoli we can get? He's like, get a Taco Bell. We passed a Taco Bell. Just give me that.
Now imagine being the child of a celebrity and never having even had the normalcy. Like most celebrities can say, well, I can remember a time where I was just a regular.
Kissed up to on behalf of their parents.
Yeah. And then you have no.
And you become
You can't even relate to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Like if you were like Michael Jackson's kids or just completely, you've never had a normal life.
But also for them, they, as soon as like he goes somewhere else, they can walk through the mall. So they know it's not that, they know this thing just happens to do with some kind of weirdness about their dad. And here's the thing of like Michael Jackson, and he's a very talented guy, but he's not that much talented than other people who sing and dance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's no kind of fairness to making it one way or another.
Right. Like if you put Madonna against any pop stars, so well, we decided that she was the biggest pop star.
A lot of hype, a lot of like PR people, you catch a right wave. ABBA got launched here in America, didn't take. And then the manager 5 years later was like, let's try again with the same song.
Right.
And then it took.
That's amazing when you think of it that way.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the election?
I look at the math of it. I don't see how Trump has a chance right now.
Yeah.
I don't think
the only chance he has is that his followers are way more rabid than her followers, but then also his detractors are way more rabid than her detractors.
Well, the thing that is always there's more Democrats than Republicans, right?
Oh, okay.
And New York and California, the Northeast and California and the West Coast always go Democrat.
Yeah, it's a wasted vote. There's no point to
You
vote
got to
in
pretty much win everything else if you're the Republican. You know, he's going to win Ohio, Virginia, Florida, and if he doesn't win any of those, he's in. You know, probably
It comes down to like 6 or 7 states to decide who the
Do
president
you
is.
think that there's any way it could be a landslide? Do you think
for
no
Hillary.
matter what?
For Hillary, it could be a landslide.
But do you think no matter what, that's a possibility, or you think it could be close?
It could. If Trump wins, it'll be close. If Hillary wins, it'll be a Trump close or a landslide.
It won't be a landslide. Isn't even that many more percentage points.
Yeah, it's just like you barely take every state.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about it.
What was Obama's? Well, which one was the bigger landslide? The first election or the second?
I think the first election. And neither one of them did he have a lot of percentage.
Yeah, it was
points.
when he beat McCain. It was like, oh, he crushed. And then you look at it, it was like 55-45.
Yeah, I don't even think it was that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it would have been like 4 or 5 points.
Yeah.
And there's always is going to be about that.
Funny thing, I've never heard an election that I remember where people's main points of why they're voting for someone is all negatives about the other person.
Well, we kind of live in a hate society now.
True.
We hate each other.
Yeah.
Not disagree, but hate.
It's so weird when you talk to people, even if they're like, well, they won't give it up for any of the negatives of their candidate.
Right.
So they'll be like, oh, Hillary wants maternity leave. And like, that's great. And then like, what about those speeches to Goldman Sachs? God, that's like, doesn't that even trouble you a little?
No, that's what's funny.
My thing is this. It's like, here's what I stand for. I want business out of politics. So I just wish Trump, even if you support him, you got to admit, he talks like an asshole sometimes. You got to admit that. We say locker room talk or whatever. He talks like an asshole sometimes. His points about let's get it back to like Americans, like let's not let politicians skirt free on breaking the law. I think a lot of people would support that.
Yeah, I think if he would have done a better,
but he doesn't stand for anything in particular.
Yeah, if he would have done a better job of saying, "Here's exactly what I'm going to do."
Yeah, exactly. Just go. We're going to make it great. Like, but how?
Yeah.
The most specific thing that he had, he's already let go of, which was the wall. The wall was his obsessive point that he kept bringing up, and now he's like, there's not going to be a wall.
I want business out of politics, and I don't want to go to war in the Middle East anymore. And she stands for business in politics, and she's going to war with Syria.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just so sick of that. I mean, my friend Moshe texted me. He was like, I said some tweet, and I didn't respond to this, but he goes, if Hillary wins and we don't go to war with Syria, will you wear a I Love Hillary t-shirt or your next special? And I wanted to respond like, sure. But if we do go to war with Syria, you go attend the funeral of a serviceman.
Right. Well,
I don't know. Man, it's all garbage.
It is, man. It's very, 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 very depressing. I think the other thing about Trump is as soon as he hired Pence, I'm like, then how are you different? You know what I mean?
Right,
He went and got that guy. I would have rather seen him with a wild man.
I tell people, don't vote. You cannot vote. If you want ice cream, you go to an ice cream shop and all they got is coffee and pistachio, you can just leave.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Half the people don't vote anyway. The truth of vote or die, it isn't true. No one has died from not voting. We got to go because Opie's coming in. Chris, plug away here.
The third season of This Is Not Happening premieres October 13th at midnight on Comedy Central. That's tomorrow night. Now, on this season, Louis Anderson, Maria Bamford, Andy Kindler, Bert Kreischer, Joe List, Russell Peters, Brian Regan, Doug Stanhope, Andrew WK, and more.
Jay Okerson.
Big Jay Okerson.
Jay Okerson, who's going to be in here Friday to try to figure out a song that he's going to do for the goddamn Comedy Jam.
Oh, really?
He did Baker Street last time. I mean,
oh, dude, he did a song by Slayer one time. He's like, trust me, you'll know this song. I'm like, I don't think so. And then he did it. And then he was like, you knew that, right? I'm like, no, man, I don't listen to your garbage music, dude. No.
All right, guys, we'll see you all again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!